Blog Talk Radio.
What's up?
What's up?
Where's the music at?
Welcome to RetroIsland.com. The only site for everything retro. The Retro Island Network for everything retro. RetroIsland.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 66 of I Got Gameplay. Xander, take it away.
Hey everyone, how's it going tonight?
He was playing the I Got Gameplay theme tune on his kazoo. It was awesome. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, joining me tonight on this very, very special episode of I Got Gameplay, which truthfully every episode is special because I'm special in the head. We have today Mr. Xander Scullion playing the kazoo.
Hello everyone.
We have Sarah Mortimer playing with her paintbrushes.
Paintbrush,
We have the male / female / male, the one half of Getting Your Nerd On, Zach Latour, aka Carlo DiPietro. Hey,
yeah, I'm just playing with my dick, so. And
also coming on live with us in a second is the man who's Mr. Rose-Colored Reviews himself, the gentleman who basically started his own radio show Thursday night, which debuted on the Retro Island Network, called The Unradio Show, which was hilarious because it's a show which is not for your children, so make sure, well, this is technically not for your kids too, but still, it's one of those shows where you can let down. It was pure comedy gold, very, very lowbrow. We acted like men children talking about penises and having tons of dick jokes. And it was a hilarious, hilarious show. We got a lot of views from that show. I think we were standing around about 20 views live, and it's climbing in terms of listens. If you haven't checked it out, check it out every Thursday on Blog Talk Radio, of course. And it's amazing. And Travis, how are you doing today? What are you playing? Are you playing with your rose-colored glasses, or are you like Zach playing with yourself?
A little bit of both.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
He's wearing the rose-colored glasses while he's doing it.
Hey, man, it's a bit of a motif of mine, so yeah. But yeah, thank you for all who have listened to Thursday night's show. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's an extremely, extremely fun show, and that's, as I said, kudos to Travis for holding it all together. It was really, really fun, and we were kind of missing Zach on that show because apparently you were supposed to debut on there, Zach.
I know, but okay, so Travis had sent me a message saying that it was going on, but I thought he sent me that message Thursday morning, but he sent it Wednesday night. So when I talked to him about it Thursday morning, he said, yeah, we're doing it tomorrow or whatever, but that was the message from Wednesday that I got Thursday. Get it? So, I thought it was going to be on Friday, and so I was busy on Thursday.
Oh.
I have no friends.
With yourself?
Yeah, I just jerked off all day because there was nothing else to do. No, but anyway, I was disappointed I missed it because I wanted to be on it. But for now on, when anybody sends me anything, just please use a date. Just put a number date so I know it, so the dumb me doesn't mistake it for the wrong day.
Just write it in diary form.
Yes, please.
It's the weekday, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely we'll do that for you next time, just to be sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's one of those things you sit there and I get it all the time because the Retro Island Network, it's a very young network, and I have to admit, and I'm going to shout this out live on air to everybody who doesn't know this, we have amassed over 4,000 listens since the network's inception. 4,000 listens, and it's including our live shows and also our archive shows such as the Excess Gaming podcast as well. Turtle Flakes, shout out to Robert and the group there as well. And our live shows, including Miguel's The Untitled Movie Show, Retro Renaissance with Chris Shank, John Latimer's Desert Island Games, and you can, it's amazing content, including I Got Gameplay as well. This network has grown so much as something that, for me, it sort of started off as a revenge tactic, I have to admit. It was kind of one of those things that was put together on a whim, in a sense, because I was leaving another network, which shall remain nameless on it because I don't really want to bring up any dirty laundry. But yeah, it was kind of, it started off that way, and the amount of people following and are making this network into the entity that it is, I have to say a great big thank you to you guys. So thank you very much to everyone that listens. Thank you to everybody that's listening now. So let's start with the show now, and let's go on to something that we always tend to do as part of the show, which is gaming news. If I can actually find the sound file for it, because we're overloaded with sound files. It's just one of those things. Where are we? Oh, there we go. Travis Goss, what's in the news this week?
Actually, something that I just now pulled up, and this is as of 6 minutes ago. There's been an announcement that there's going to be a Portal board game.
Huh.
A Portal board game. Yeah. A Polygon report on the Portal board game by Valve and Krebsonic, whatever, I can't pronounce it, claims that the Valve licensed adaptation should hit store shelf sometime late this year. The game is still in development and thus lacks a final title, but for now it's being called Portal Uncooperative Cake Acquisition Game, which honestly isn't too bad. It really rolls off the tongue. And Valve, we may not be experienced board game designers or publishers or you, but you can totally trust us on that one. So that's pretty cool. A board game version. I can't fucking talk tonight. Voisin. I'm from Jersey.
Voisin.
It's a board game version of that fucking game Halo. Yeah, I'm saying that holding my balls.
No, but seriously, that's pretty cool. A board game version of Portal. I mean, I've seen a pic of it right now. I'll tell you what. I'm going to send a link to everybody in the chats, and I'll let you guys kind of think for yourselves. I'll actually ask you guys' opinion about this board game. This looks really sweet.
Well, I do have to say that I've noticed in the last couple of years of the board game coming back. I've noticed a lot of people are really getting back into board games. I know there's a store that opened up a little bit down the road from me called Cape Fear Games, and it started out as kind of like a place where everyone would play like Magic the Gathering and D&D, but it's starting to become something more than that, where people are, playing board games, and there's more games that are coming out that are elaborate, and it's interesting to see something like that coming back, board games. So that was something you would play when it was raining outside, or you had no money to go out and have fun with your friends. You'd play a board game, but it seems to be something that people are kind of getting back into. It's interesting.
Very true. And the thing is, for me, is I would play more board games, but unfortunately, there's nobody around here to play the board games with me.
Yeah, it is one of those things that you do have to have people around.
When no one when I lived with my buddies in a house and they were all into like World of Warcraft and League of Legends, nobody wanted to play board games with me, so I just bought like the NES versions of like Othello and chess or whatever and that kind of stuff. So I just played with the computer.
Again, Zach always playing with himself.
Yes.
Someone had to say it.
Now, talking about bringing board games back, yeah. That was bad.
Yep.
Surprise, motherfucker.
So yeah, it's basically one of those things where it has become another one. It's another one of those nerd cultural things that you find that you used to play as a kid. I used to play a lot of like Monopoly. I'm a huge Monopoly fan.
Oh, me too.
You know, I love Monopoly. It's one of my favorite games to play. Oh yeah, and also check out the Retro Island live stream that we did yesterday, the impromptu one, because we actually had a dude named Rich on there he's like got one of the largest collection of board games ever. So just check that out. But you know, guys like Angry Joe, for instance, and game collectors who collect these board games have kind of re-sparked and reinvigorated the interest. And stuff like Kickstarter has made these games possible. So we're seeing board games of everything. And we've also heard Rob Mann's rant about Mega Man board game being fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That was hilarious. I just sat there and I couldn't stop freaking laughing. I felt like I was going to die with laughter because Rob was just going into a huge tirade. But it was funny.
The thing is, too, about board games, too, is there's been a huge resurgence in them, especially because of YouTube videos and shows. Like, for instance, we have Table Flip, which is part of Polaris. And you guys heard of the channel Geek and Sundry?
Yes, that was started by, what's her name? Oh, God.
Yeah, was that Will Wheaton?
Yeah, it's got Will Wheaton on it, but it was actually started by an actress who's also a nerd.
Felicia
J.
Foyle.
Yes.
No. Felicia.
Yeah.
Day.
Felicia Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
The girl from Ghost Tits.
Yes.
Yeah.
She basically started it because, again, this is a funny story with her. She was an out-of-work actress who, you know, she was getting jobs sort of sparingly and stuff, and she became this kind of entity in a sense. She managed to build up her fan base. She got her own YouTube show that came out called what was it called? It was like based on an MMO.
That really did not sound right.
I'm having like the freaking biggest brain fart in the world. It was called the. I can't even freaking think about it. But she managed to get that show off the ground. Whoops. It wasn't called The League. It was called something else. That's going to bug me now. Me and Dan have just had a conversation about how you forget about something, and then I'm going to wake up at like 4 a.m. out of bed going, I know what it was, and then no one to tell. But she spawned off of that, and then Geek and Sundry sort of came off of that. The Guild. There you go. Haha.
Yeah, there you go.
It was the Guild. She signed an exclusive agreement with Microsoft as well to air the Guild on Microsoft's Xbox platform, so they earn money off of that, her and all the other actors from the Guild. So yeah, big shout out to Felicia Day for doing that, for bringing back like a certain variety of nerdity to the mainstream, and guys like Will Wheaton as well, who shows us that it's so cool to be a nerd. So let's go on, Travis. Have you got any more news for us?
I do, actually, and this one really kind of irritates me. Well, not too much because I don't own a PlayStation 4, but still the thought of it really irritates the shit out of me. GameStop raises the price of the PS4 camera as supplies dwindle.
You know, I thought that price looked higher because Kyla bought the camera like a long time ago. I thought it was just $50.
Well, it looks like GameStop is doing a little price gouging. GameStop has raised the price of the PlayStation 4's camera peripheral, seemingly in response to supply shortages across multiple retailers. Available the PlayStation 4's launch day for $59.99, GameStop now lists the accessory at $69.99. Retailers Best Buy, Newegg, and Target report that the item is currently out of stock, and Amazon has also exhausted its supply, leading to third-party resellers listing the peripheral at $99 or more. So it's not just GameStop, but still, that's outrageous. But then again, I mean, Can anybody explain to me what the purpose of having a camera for a system is anyway?
To show your penis.
Yeah,
Besides
well,
that.
number one reason is to show your penis.
Yeah.
But number two is there's actually if you have a PS4, there's Kyla, what's that segment called where you can use the camera? Game Room?
The game room?
I think there's a segment on PS4 called the Game Room, and you can use the camera.
Wait. Is Kyla with you?
Yeah, she's playing the Wii U.
Why aren't you on this show, Kyla?
Because I'm on her cell phone because my computer won't install Skype because it's being the douche. She'll be on to say hello.
Okay, but let me ask.
On her day off, honestly, Kyla.
No, not her day off. She just got out of work.
She just got out of work.
She got out of work, then she bought the Wii U. Now she's here. She just updated, and now she's playing it.
I should just get her on the Wii U gamepad and just get her to come on the show via my mic on the Wii U gamepad.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, that actually gives me a chance. If anybody wants to add me, if you have a Wii U, if you want to add me,
just don't add him.
Yeah.
TravisScott79. That's my username.
But the camera does have some pretty cool functions, at least on the PS4. I mean, Kyla's used it mainly as her camera when she streams on Twitch and stuff, and plus I use it to show my dick. So.
Yeah, he does. He basically gets on chat roulette and just random people his penis. I'm not even joking. It has a tattoo that says "I got gameplay" on it.
Yeah, I got it tattooed.
Yeah, and on his ass he's got "Getting Your Nerd On," but he's basically abridged it so it says "gyno," so people think he's a gynecologist.
Yeah, and I tell you, the only ones that come to me are the old ass ladies, so it's not really a dream job.
And also the old ass dudes. They're like, "Sonny, can you show me that penis again?"
Yeah.
Come on, don't worry, it wasn't gay in my day. We were just joyfully gayful. It means being happy. Let's be happy together. Look at my wrinkly one. It technically doesn't work.
They just offer me candy in their windowless vans.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, okay, I mean...
I like how Travis just went, okay. Just, I'm trying to play games and you're talking about Zach's penis. Michael.
My penis now broken because we're talking about that. But anyways. No, but that's the thing. Is if that's all the camera does is you'd be able to live stream your PlayStation 4 activity and all that stuff.
There's games that come on the system. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'll give it that much. Okay. But still, back to the subject, though. That's outrageous that GameStop is doing just that. But then again, I wouldn't expect anything less from them because they're the same company that when people were trying to find certain Wii titles, which were out of print, somehow GameStop magically had them, but were selling the used price at about $10 more than the new game.
Shout out to Alpha Omega Sin here on that. Do you know the story behind this? Does anybody know the story behind the out of print titles? And what is that medieval music playing in the background? I feel like someone's haunting me with medieval music.
No, I think that's Kyla playing Zelda Wind Waker.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to turn it down?
Yeah, she's turning it down now, but yeah. The game is beautiful, by the way.
It is. I can imagine how beautiful it is. And the only thing I don't like is the fact that I can't play online co-op with Kyla. And then, I can still have Zach show his penis on my Wii U gamepad, so that makes up for things.
Oh, yeah, that's without question.
Yeah, that's just, that as soon as he adds me, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to just measure dicks and see how that works. But the whole process with this was, there was a company, there's an outside company that manufactures these out-of-print games for Nintendo, for the Wii, including, I believe, what was that one that? Again, my brain is fucking going on.
One of them I'll tell you for odds at hand is Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Yes, they manufactured that, and there was the other one, which is
Xenoblade Saga. Xenoblade.
Yeah, Xenoblade. And because of Xenoblade, they manufactured those. And what GameStop tend to do is they go in the disc, they rip out all the content, like all the extra little shit on that disc, say it's used, when it's not actually used. So there you go. That's the story behind it. If you want to check out more about it or go more in depth about it, take a look at Alpha Omega Sin's YouTube channel, because he basically goes in depth about it, and it's extremely sad the way that this happens. It shouldn't happen, but GameStop are notorious for fucking things up.
Although they didn't fuck up my purchase yesterday because I bought what the hell? God of War Saga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's not a Nintendo thing.
I know, but I'm just saying I got this $20 used, and it came with a voucher for two of the games that are not on the disc. And I saw that, I thought, oh shoot, I bet someone already used that. Nope, I downloaded everything just fine.
Hooray!
Okay. Anybody else got any info about this? What do you guys think? Zach, Kyler, Kitty Cat, tell me.
Doesn't surprise me. It's I don't know. I understand like things are all out of stock, and I guess these are just used ones that they're doing, but that's what they do. They've been doing this a lot lately, so I mean it doesn't surprise me. I'm not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but I mean at least to be fair, if these people are trying to scalp it for over $100 and they're just boosting it $10 over new, I mean it's kind of like the lesser of two evils, I guess.
Yeah. Sarah, what about you?
For gaming news?
Well, about this story, and then we'll move on to gaming news in a sec.
I had a whole thing about GameStop, and I just completely forgotten what I was going to say. See, you're passing on the mental blanks.
I know it's contagious. It's me being the water. I'm being a retard. I think. I think my retardedness is spreading, and it's not good. Hopefully, I will eventually get over the retardedness.
I remember what it was. Something. I've heard stories about people going out into the large garbage things behind GameStop stores, and they actually find like really good stuff that for some bizarre reason GameStop has to or decides to throw away, like manuals for games, cases for games, probably even the games themselves. They just go into the dumpsters and they find that stuff.
Do you know who's actually a professional dumpster diver?
No. Who?
Mr. Zach Latour.
That's right, motherfucker. I dumpster dive. What up?
In there.
He dumpster dives and he runs.
Yeah, I find some good stuff over there. I found some good stuff the other day.
I could literally see you like dumpster diving and then having the police come and you go, "Yo, it's the pom-pom, man. We gotta move away with our free shit." And then
drop the kiosk.
I'll tell you what I do. I got a couple moves because one thing I do is that when I first go over to the dumpster and I find I find a couple things, bam, I kind of find a box that's in the dumpster. I throw it all in the box and then I throw it, somewhere. So just in case I got to book it, I can come back and grab the stuff later, And then I kind of get in seconds and thirds and then I just haul it all to my car.
Go back in trips.
I remember he was telling a story about him driving his car near a GameStop dumpster. All I was just seeing is Zach go doom, 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 like the car just coming in, like going next to the dumpster, and then him opening up the sunroof, or it's got this like rip away sort of roof that goes into the car, and then him going in the dumpster, sort of diving in, grabbing all the shit he can, throwing it in the back of the car, and then driving off.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Ow, 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 like some weird 80s music.
Yeah. I found some really cool stuff. Like, you find some really cool promotional stuff in there. And that's the one reason why I love dumpster diving.
Yep. And it is a good thing. I actually considered it myself, maybe going behind game and doing it because they're a bunch of cocks. But still, I think it's awesome. It's one of those things that should be done. And if they're not going to take care of it, you should. Yeah.
And also I'm going to use it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's like protection. If you don't use it, you'll end up with kids. Actually, that makes no fucking sense. But still. So now, aside from dumpster diving, let's go on to Sarah for your little tidbit of news. What news do you have?
I read, I think it was yesterday, that they finally have a release date for Watch Dogs.
Woohoo!
I think it's May 17th.
That was one of the reasons why I didn't buy a PlayStation 4, by the way, because they basically recanted on the Watch Dog edition.
But something I found, like it's going to be on, May 27th, sorry. It's going to be on 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. No Wii U, apparently.
And that's the reason. That's the reason.
One
That's
thing
the reason.
said you released it followed a later date. Another one said that it's been cancelled. So.
What? Did you say 260?
360.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 360.
Whoa. The Wii U version of Watch Dogs has been cancelled. Why?
That's what I've heard. But the thing that I'm reading right now says a Wii U release will follow at a later date, so I don't really know what's going on with that.
Is there a PS3 and PS4 version of it coming out? I know there's a PS4 version, but I mean PS3 version.
Will launch worldwide on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PC on May 27th.
Well, that's a slap in the face if they cancel it on the Wii U.
There's no excuse for that because this game has been in development for this long, and it's coming out. It's been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And if they don't come out with a Wii U version, I will stop playing anything Ubisoft related.
But come on, it would have been the most interesting version, I think, because think about what they could have done with the gamepad. They could have had visor overlay things. Like you could put up the gamepad to the screen, and it's like, hey, look, you're seeing all the the cyber network things. You can see you could hack or whatever. I haven't really played the game or seen that much about it, but it's like you could do so many interesting things with it.
Yeah, I'm.
That's PS3 version.
Once I heard that they weren't making a Wii U version, I don't even have interest in Watch Dogs. It's dead to me.
Yeah, it's really bugs me how many people are sort of going out of the Wii U business. It doesn't make sense. It's one of those things that really I really had this sort of ingrained passion for Ubisoft because I thought they were doing everything right. You know, I don't understand why they're going that way. And
well, I'll tell you what, man. I really think Ubisoft doesn't like Nintendo right now because they were not really that happy with the because Zombie U wasn't that successful.
Well,
and I think it's a
personal game.
I think it's a personal. I really think it's a personal vendetta. That's just my honest opinion.
Well,
because you know what if they do release it at a later date, say it's not canceled. Say they're going to be like, oh, it's going to be released on a different date. Then that gives Ubisoft the upper hand in the fact that they can say, well, Watch Dogs didn't sell that well on the Wii U, so we're not going to be making that much more stuff for Nintendo because it's not profitable for us. Which in return, of course, it didn't sell well on the Wii U because it was released later than the rest of the games on other systems.
That bugs me.
Arkham games later. It's like everybody has them already.
Yeah, that bugs me though, because like it's the whole Warner Brothers situation. Basically, like you know the new Batman, the new Arkham game, Arkham Knight, basically is not going to be released on the Wii U.
Origins, right?
Yeah, well,
no, the new one.
Yeah, and what they did, they kind of had a slap in the face of Arkham Origins, where they said we're not releasing any DLC for the Wii U because it didn't sell that well. You removed a crucial part of the game for the Wii U version, which was the online multiplayer. You got rid of that, so of course people are going to migrate to the PlayStation and the Xbox. They're going to go to the versions that have that. And it really pisses me off when they attempt to do stuff like this. It makes no sense. You don't need to do it, and all you're doing is causing problems. And Ubisoft going the same route, that's, you know, Ubisoft, I thought better of you guys. I really did, you know. It does bug me. It seems like gaming companies now, all they're caring about is themselves instead of actually caring about the fans.
Yeah.
Well, I'll personally say that, and I said this on the last episode of Excess Gaming because the episode was right around the time that the new trailer came out for the new Batman game. I'm not excited about it. I'm not. I ruffled some feathers when I said that because everyone was posting there. Oh my God, this looks amazing, and it does look amazing. But the thing is, dude, I feel like the Batman Arkham series is becoming a new Assassin's Creed. And the reason why I say that is because we just had Origins and Batman Blackgate on the 3DS come out last year, and now we're having another one come out. And it's just like I lose interest in series that come out with the yearly releases because I don't feel like buying the game because I'm like, I'm going to buy this game and it's going to be obsolete by next year.
I agree. I do agree in a sense, Sander, with your statement because you want to do more. You want to see more, and the fact is what makes it different than the other Arkham games, no one knows yet. So for me, I'm kind of being patient, holding bated breath and saying only time will tell on this. But I do agree with your statement, and I can understand why you feel that way. What about you, Zach/Kyler/Kitty?
Well, I was going to ask, wait, Xander, you don't buy the new Madden every year for $60 and then trade it back in for a penny the next year?
No, I stopped doing that after the PlayStation years. I stopped doing
okay. I haven't even watched the trailer for it, but I beat the first two Arkham games, and I loved them. I even thought the second one, Arkham City, was 10 times better than Arkham Asylum. I haven't played Arkham Origins, but I heard it wasn't that great compared to the other ones, I'm guessing. But I personally don't mind if a new game comes out every year as long as it kicks ass. Unfortunately, I'm not into sports games that do it, and plus I wouldn't pay for something they could do with just a roster update and a $5 download, but instead they want you to pay $60. But whatever. I guess they know better. But anyway, things like Call of Duty. I actually wish I was into that because you could have a new game every year. Like if I could get a new Adventure Time game every year or a new. I'm trying to think of things I'm into these days. I don't even know. Not a new Street Fighter because they just re-released the same one. But anyway, yeah. So I'm down with a new Batman every year if the quality stays kick-ass. But from what I've heard from Origins, it wasn't as kick-ass as the last two, and I'm guessing this one, hopefully it's better than Origins. I don't know. I will play it at some point, though, Origins, I'm cool with that. What's up?
I will say this. What makes Batman Arkham Knight makes it look appealing. I mean, for one, the trailer is amazing. I will say that it does look like a lot of fun. One, they brought back Kevin McCoy. He's the voice of Batman again, which is a plus. But the major thing is Rocksteady's going to be behind this one.
The final one, isn't it?
That's what they're saying. I never listen to people when they say it's their last one. I mean, look at Bungie. It's their last Halo.
Yeah.
But
beat that horse.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is Rocksteady's back behind it, and one of the reasons why Batman Arkham Origins wasn't that great is because it was put out by a different developer. I believe it was Rocksteady, the Montreal branch.
No, it was Warner Montreal. Or it had nothing to do with Rocksteady.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was something in Canada. But
you could blame Canada.
It's your fault, Sarah.
It had Justin Bieber, who was the head of development.
But no, really. The game looks amazing. I think it will be good. Just personally, I'm not stoked about it. Will I play it? Yes, but it'll probably be when it's dropping down in price and there's a Game of the Year edition with all the DLC on it.
What was the problem with the last one? Was it just that the story licked balls?
That's what some people said. Also, it had some glitch issues. It didn't play as smooth as the other Batman games.
There was a clock tower issue where you had to get one of the Riddler's trophies, and basically there wasn't a way to sort of get in it. So people found a way around the glitch, if that makes sense, because it was glitching hard. They found a way around it and managed to sort of work through it and do what they could with it. But it's one of those things where you can't sit there and go, oh, that's fucking bad, or that's an ass and stuff like that. It just happens. I wouldn't hold that as the worst thing to happen to gaming, but at the same point, it kind of annoyed.
Right. Did people who played it, did they feel like that the people who made it weren't really kind of putting as much love into it anymore? They were just seeing it as a cash cow now, get it out so we can make money?
Yeah. You can tell it's what Warner's doing with it because they know there's some success. Excuse me, there's some success. Let's go from there. But ladies and gentlemen, we also got another gentleman on here known as Nick T. Wolf from YouTube. He is Mr. Nick Enderle. When he gets online, of course. As soon as he's online. So yeah, again on the Xander and the whole thing with Rocksteady, did Warner entice them to come back? Do you know the story behind it? Why they've come back to do it?
I'm pretty sure it was money. It's always money.
Yeah.
It's a business. I mean, when it all comes down to it, we love games, but it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was money. Same reason why I'm pretty sure Kevin McCoy came back.
Yeah, no, I think Kevin McCoy came back for the fans, in my opinion. I don't think he needs the money.
He doesn't need it.
Unless they drove a truck to his house. Just a truckload of money. Like, I'm not coming back as Batman at all. Come on, boys.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, and he's just like standing there looking at the truck of money. So, Kevin, what do you say? I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
That's it.
Well, I got some gaming news.
Go for it, Xander.
As you guys know, I'm a huge Castlevania fan. It's my favorite series of all time, and I've really been enjoying Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2. I think it's a really good game. Highly recommend you guys try it out if you haven't yet. But Konami released that Mercury Steam Studios and Konami are in no way going to make another 2D Castlevania. They said that 2D Castlevanias right now are not show any sort of sign of profit, so they don't want to make a 2D Castlevania. So everyone that's wanting another, Metroidvania Symphony of the Night game, like we saw on the DS and Game Boy Advance, we're probably not going to see those for quite some time. And then a lot of that is because of Mirrors of Fate, which was a 2.5 D Castlevania game, didn't really sell too well.
Who comes up with this shit? Seriously. It's like, it's not financially profitable.
Do they not talk to their fans at all? I mean, okay, first of all, I was a little taken aback when we had Symphony of the Night when that introduced the whole Metroidvania gameplay that we now have adapted to. But that's ridiculous, for crying out loud.
I mean,
Don't break something that's not broke. Oh.
Well, the thing is, too, is like, what's the first thing that people talk about when a new Castlevania comes out? They always mention Symphony of the Night. It's like the Symphony of the Night's like the best way to describe it is like when a band comes out with a really good album and they have to constantly live up to the hype of that album. That's Castlevania's like White Album, you know? So, I mean, like, for them to say, oh, it's not profitable, we wouldn't make any money if we made a 2D Castlevania, it's complete, bullshit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you totally. It's a silly way of doing it. Whenever someone goes, oh, it's not profitable, fuck off. Don't come out with that bullshit and tell me it's not profitable. We know better than gamers. That's why Capcom has lost nearly billions of dollars because they don't put out another fucking Mega Man game and they've turned Resident Evil into a Michael Bay movie. It makes no fucking sense. It's they might as well have had it run by a kitty.
Yeah, but let's look on the bright side though. I mean, I'm sorry I didn't mean to cut you off. But I was going to say,
hey, it is run by a cat.
I know, I could tell. It's Mr. Mittens.
Yeah.
But let's look on the bright side though. At least they're not going to attempt to make another Castlevania 64.
Yeah.
I give it another 3 years. Give it another 3 years, and we'll see a 2D Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll be like, okay, after the Lord of Shadows series has come to a close, what they'll do is we won't see anything of Castlevania for a long time, for a while. Then they'll be like, we're revamping Castlevania back to its roots, for the fans have wanted this game for years.
They are going extreme.
It's 1995 all over again.
Yeah.
Everything's extreme.
Yeah, no, we'll see it. So I'm not really worried about
With
it.
hedgehogs and anal and hedgehogs.
And
Yeah.
Bill Flint.
It's funny to me though that like people would rather their library of the stuff they're putting out be complete garbage that sells instead of quality games that people will be talking about 20 years from now. It's like all of my buddies, they love Castlevania. One of my buddies in particular is like, that's like his like wet dream. But like every time I'd be like, if I'm at a store, I'm like, hey, Summers, what do you think about this Castlevania game? And one of them was one for the DS. He was like, yeah, game kicks ass, buy it. So it's like, they have these loyal fans, but instead they're like, oh, well, that doesn't make any money, so let's put out fucking just shit that, makes money, just cash cow stuff, and screw the other stuff whether fans want it or not. I don't know why people are okay with that.
Zach, hold up for a sec. We've got a caller on the 415 area code. Caller, who are you?
Hey.
And what do you want with Zach Latour?
Hey, it's Chris Logue.
Hey, Chris!
What's up? Okay, so here's the thing. I just heard the tail end of that conversation. I was just wondering, since I know you guys are talking about Final Fight versus Streets of Rage, have any of you guys played Final Fight Streetwise?
Yes, I have, and I was going to talk about that today.
Okay.
I've actually got to the last
wait, who said it was crap?
I did, Travis.
Wait, why?
I couldn't. Okay, the controls were sloppy.
Aww.
And this,
okay,
now
sure.
this is before I'm
controls are
serious.
sloppy on Kingdom Hearts too. Everybody seems to love that fucking game.
Well, the thing is, though, this game actually, I mean, I haven't played this in about 7 years. I haven't played this game in 7 years. Actually, it was given to me. I won a contest when OneUp.com was around. I won this contest where I won 100 PlayStation games, and they threw that as a.
What, like PlayStation 2 games?
What in the world was that?
What the hell just happened?
That was Nick. I think he was coming out of a car.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
Anyways,
wait. So you won like 100 PS2 games?
I won 100 PS. It was 100 games total from PS1, PS2, and PSP.
Cool. And that was one of them.
That was a bonus. They threw that in just because. But they gave it to me thinking
because nobody bought it. Because I had that game for Xbox. I never actually beat it because my fucking jerk of a brother sold it behind my back. But I fucking loved that game. I loved what I played of it. I mean, it kind of was like Final Fight mixed with like Shenmue for an Xbox, and it was fucking dope.
I will say that game did not deserve the shit that it got. I mean, I got to the last boss, and I'll talk about it why I couldn't beat that game when we talk about it later on in the segment. But I mean, I liked it. I bought it for like $3, and I had been looking for it for a while, and I played it pretty much beginning to end, except I couldn't beat the guy. I had a fun time with it. I just get drunk while I played.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I did. I never got to beat it, but I mean, it was fun. It was fun for what it was. I mean, they never made an update to Streets of Rage, which kind of sucks. Like, I feel like if they made an update for Streets of Rage, it'd probably be exactly like that.
Yeah, well, I think one thing that really kind of put me off at the time. This is before House of the Dead Overkill came out. The non-stop swearing. I was like, okay, this is not making me feel very entertained.
Yeah, that was they did go a little overboard with the swearing. I'll agree with that. But I'm also from New Jersey, so I'm a little less. I'm a little desensitized to that. But I will give you that. It was a little too much. Like it's not necessary. It's not necessary for a video game like that, at least. I mean, it's not like we're fucking playing Bayonetta.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay if you can swear every now and then, but that was just like, it was worse than a Tarantino film.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, so I just wanted to call and bring that up real quick, throw that bomb in you guys' driveway, and drive away.
Well, Chris, if you do get home and you do find yourself on Skype, come and join us for the discussion. We're going to be talking Final Fight versus Streets of Rage in a little bit, but we're going to go through a bit more news. Have you got any news for us? Is there any news that you would like to leave us with on the podcast?
I have absolutely zero news, mostly because I've been, just fucking grinding for the past, month. So I have, no idea what's going on in the world of gaming at all right now. For the past, month, I haven't really been listening, which is horrible. It's like a part of me is missing, dude. I need to get back to it. I worked every single day this week.
Whoa,
horrible.
Geez.
Boo-uns.
I'm pretty sad, dude. I'm pretty sad about it. So that's my news. My news is that I have no life anymore.
Neither of us have lives. Kyla's sitting there playing on a Wii U and not being on I Got Gameplay because she has no life.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, no, I don't have it. I got nothing for that. I will fucking talk to you guys later, though. I just wanted to fucking say what's up. Enjoying the conversation because I haven't talked to you guys in a minute. And everybody who's listening, you guys suck. Yeah. Peace out.
All right, later.
Yeah, bye. So that was Crystal Oaks, everybody, and you can check him out with his band, of course. He is available everywhere. He does have gigs going on in areas of the United States. So whenever he's got a gig going on, we'll post it on the I Got Gameplay page for him as well. He's an awesome person, very knowledgeable as a gamer as well, and one of the great hosts that we have, the great many hosts we have on I Got Gameplay. Now let's continue with our news and go to Mr. Zach Latour, a.k.a. Carla DePietro, a.k.a. Kitty.
Yes, I have one piece of news, and it's something that to me is kind of annoying.
You're a second bastard?
Well, I mean, that's not annoying. That's just my life. So the news that I have is that Nintendo is releasing a 3DS XL on the 14th, which is a Yoshi's New Island edition. And so it's like blue. I'm dumb. It's green and like white, and it has Yoshi on the front with an egg and then eggs on the back. And it's $200, which, that's what 3DSs go for. But the thing that I think is so dumb is that this does not come with a copy of the game. So it says Yoshi's New Island game launches separately March 14th for $39.99. So when Kyla bought the Mario and Luigi 3DS XL, it was $150 on sale, but it was only $200 and came with a copy of Dream Team. I bought the Zelda one that was $150 on sale, but it was $220, but it came with a copy of A Link Between Worlds. And why does this not come with a copy of Yoshi's New Island? That just makes no sense to me.
That was weird.
My question is, how many 3DSs are out there now?
There's quite a bit of them.
They do all the 3DS XL different things. Like, why not the normal 3DS ones? I don't get it.
They're done with the normal 3DSs.
Yeah.
It's pointless. It's pointless to put them out anymore. No one's going to buy them.
I bought one because my hands are small.
Yeah, but when did you buy it?
I'm sorry?
When did you buy it?
About a year ago.
Well, okay. I mean, yeah, but I mean, so I guess there's a market for people with tiny ass hands, but I'm thinking mostly people are not going to buy a regular size 3DS.
Fair enough.
I have a regular size 3DS. I don't have a big one like Zach Latour.
Right, but you also got yours used for a fucking kick-ass deal. And what I'm saying is when people are in the market to go buy a brand new 3DS, they're probably going to go for an XL.
Fuck you, Zach Latour, for being right.
Okay. But I think it's bullshit that this does not come with the game. And here's the thing: they don't even need to put physical copies in anymore. They're downloadable codes or they're installed on the system. So it's not like it's emptying their wallet, putting one of these infinite amounts of DLC onto this stuff.
Okay, I have no idea what's just happened, but the I Got Gameplay page has just been blowing up with likes and ads for some weird reason. So we're getting loads of new likes, loads of new ads. Thank you very much, people. Keep doing it. Facebook.com/I Got Gameplay. Awesome. So I like this. I'm a big fan of the 3DS XL. I want to get one. I will do. And it's one of those things that I really want to get a hold of. So hopefully I will do, but I want to still keep my tiny 3DS, which I do think the 3DS XL is badass because of the big screen. I'm not gonna lie.
It is awesome.
Well, I've owned both of them. I had a normal red 3DS that unfortunately got stolen, and so then. But it had a happy ending to it because, I got the 3DS 2 weeks before they announced the XL. So when I had gotten the 3DS and they're like, now we have a 3DS XL, I'm like, son of a bitch. So, I mean, it kind of had some gray lining with the clouds of, theft. And it's unfortunate that my 3DS got stolen, but then I turned around and I got a 3DS XL, and I love it. Going from both of them, I can honestly tell you there's pros and cons of both units. I think the sound is actually better on the smaller 3DS than it is on the XL. But the battery is a lot better on the XL.
Yeah.
See, I would think it'd be better on the regular one because the screens are smaller. It doesn't have to like supply as much energy for them.
Well, as I said, it's one of those things where we look at it and both have value in some form or fashion, but in the same sense, it's something that I really do love and appreciate. So yeah, let's move on from that now.
Mike, I was about to ask you, Michael, do you have a case for your 3DS?
I do. I have the most awesome fucking case in the world, and it was basically recommended to me by Dave Wade. These are one of the 3DS cases you can get from Game. It's a nice blue one because I like blue. It's my favorite color. So if anyone wants to buy Michael Burhan any gifts, buy something blue for him.
Blue
Not
dildo.
because... Yes, a blue dildo, Xander. But I keep all my stuff in it, including my screen protector that I put on there. It comes with a stylus. It comes with extra little bits and pieces, including headphones and stuff for it. And it's a great way to protect your 3DS from falling on the floor, which I had to repair twice now because I dropped it.
Well, I'll say this, okay? This is gonna be kind of cool. All right, so all you guys that are listening right now, if you have a normal 3DS, you are going to be congratulated by I Got Gameplay, because if you call in and tell us if you like Final Fight or Streets of Rage, if you call in, I will send this person a brand new 3DS Lego Batman game case for your 3DS. But you have to have a normal 3DS. So whoever calls in and says they like Final Fight or Streets of Rage, you get a free 3DS case.
What? Yo, Kyler, call these motherfuckers.
Why can't they have one for the 2DS?
But yeah, it's brand new. My sister recently got a 3DS XL, and she was originally going to get the normal 3DS because she's got, little fingers. So she ended up having a Lego Batman 2 3DS case as a vault case. So it's a nice metal case that she doesn't use, that she gave to me, and I don't have any use for it. And I'm not a hoarder. So I'd like to give it to a loyal listener to the show.
I love it. I think it's awesome. Xander, I love you. I want to basically insert things in you right at this point in time for offering this prize for I Got Gameplay. I think it's great, guys. And you know what? We'll make it a little bit sweeter. Whoever calls in, you get the free 3DS case as well, and I'll give you a free I Got Gameplay T-shirt. Zach's still awaiting his special edition T-shirt, which we'll be getting in due time. I'm just being a git, and I'm kind of cock teasing him with it. I'm going to show it on screen in front of a camera on a Skype chat and go, Zach! just for him. So make sure you call in. You'll get that and an IGG T-shirt. So guys, call in now. You know the number. The number is, and I've got to find it because I'm a douchebag, 718-664-9265. That's 718-664-9264. So call in now. Or if you're a cheap motherfucker, you can call us in by pressing the Skype button on top of the player and call in, talk to us, and leave us some lovely messages. Say if you like Final Fight or Streets of Rage. And I don't know why I'm talking like Paul O'Grady.
I think it sounds so sexy. I just want to do things to you. Child, damn.
Oh, you go, girlfriend.
Oh my God. What just happened?
He makes my pee go.
On the next IGG After Dark.
Yes. So, Nick, have you got any news for us today?
I've been trying to find news stories, and I don't even know what you guys have talked about. I just hopped on.
Oh. Hi.
Just a recap. GameStop is a bunch of douchebags. So is Ubisoft, probably not releasing Watch Dogs for the Wii U, and that's as far as we've gone so far.
And no more 2D Castlevanias.
Yeah.
Crud, see, you're talking about GameStop being douchebags, that's just going to ruin everything for me now. Just go on and let me find something here. I'll just give you a minute here.
Okay.
Okay, while we wait for Nick to sort of talk to us, I'm going to give a little bit of news here as well. So let's find out some news, shall we? Let's see what Michael Burhan can come up with. Why do I keep talking like that? I let people into some weird
all
shit.
coming out.
It's all coming out. I'm coming out of the closet. It's really weird. Michael Burhan comes out on I Got Gameplay. It's basically, I don't need any big, huge events to do it. I'll just come out here and I'll say, don't judge me. Don't judge me for loving Zach Latour's penis. So let's continue.
Wait, I just found something.
Go.
No, we've came this far. I mean, Burhan's just got to go for it. So there we go.
A Last of Us movie, possibly.
Oh, right, yeah. Hi.
With Sam Raimi and Ghost House Pictures attached to the project, but nothing is clear in what Raimi's involvement will be.
You know, if they don't have, like, all the people that were involved in the game, it's not going to look right. Like, the actors and everything.
We are men. We have large penises. We use big guns.
What?
Here's a war.
Wow.
They use magnums.
Yes. And not the same as like when you go on the catwalk and you do that weird stare like Zoolander. That's not what he's talking about. He's using big guns. Big guns.
Big guns and big condoms.
Oh, God. So, yes, there's a bit of other news here. Crafty PS4 user makes external battery pack to extend the life of the DualShock 4. What do you guys think of that?
Genius.
That's pretty cool.
What is the current battery life of the PS4 controller?
Probably about 3 to 4 hours.
Lame.
But it's the same as the Wii U battery pack, and then they may have to buy a bigger, newer one because Nintendo likes it big from Japan.
But that's no excuse, though. I mean, for the PS4 controller to last like 3 or 4 hours per charge. I mean, yeah, the same battery life for that of the Wii U gamepad, but the gamepad has got a lot more going on than what a controller does, so that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things, I believe. Does anybody else have any more news before we move on to today's topic? And again, I've got to stop doing that.
I just want to mention I just posted a picture of that DS case on the I Got Gameplay page.
Ooh, there you go. I'll make sure we bump that post. And for all those who want to have gameplay, then make sure you have the case. Otherwise, I'm going to get Xander to send it to me instead. And you won't have it.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it on my wall, and it'll be like, from Xander, heart, 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 kiss, kiss, kiss.
Well, that's the reason why I was asking. Because I was going to send it to you, but no, you got some, like, super-duper case, so fuck you.
That's a shame, too, because I got a 3DS XL, and that would have been so awesome.
This is what happens when you have gay talk with Xander Scullion. He just sits there and he's like, I'm burned out now. You got Dave Wade managed to recommend a case, so fuck you, bitch. So that's the end of that then. And speaking of the end of things, let's move on to our commercial break that we're going to be taking, because I need to go to the little boy's room. So we'll be right back after this. I can say whatever I like. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I know I said I'd be back in about a minute and 35 seconds. Instead, we were back later than that because we all were in the little boys and girls room. So, let's talk about Streets of Rage versus Final Fight. Now, this isn't a game show like the other sort of show that we had. We're going to be doing something kind of different on this. We're basically are going to be talking about these two games, talking about their legacies, and then going into exactly what these games were about and how they are so similar, because both games were released on two competitive platforms. Both games had a different sort of semblance to what they are currently, and both games utilized characters who are fighting on streets. I'm not joking. They're literally what these two games were about. So, let's go into detail, firstly, about Final Fight. So who out of our lovely panel today wants to talk about Final Fight?
Well, I do want to mention one thing about Final Fight that that some people may or may not know, but actually Final Fight was originally going to be a sequel to the Street Fighter series. It's actually tied in with Street Fighter, and that's the reason why so many characters, when you play Final Fight, so many characters that are on Final Fight are also part of the Street Fighter series. A lot of them mainly in the Street Fighter Alpha series. Because Street Fighter Alpha is actually a prequel to the Street Fighter 2 and Fighting Street or Street Fighter game is actually a prequel to it. So that's a little bit.
Do you know the reason, though, why Cody is actually arrested in Street Fighter Alpha? Can you guys tell us a little bit of trivia on that?
I don't know.
No? You don't want to... what about anybody else? There was a Final Fight game that was released, I believe it was on the Sega Saturn, which was a prequel to Street Fighter Alpha in terms of the Final Fight series, where I forgot what the game was called. It was Final Fight... I will look this up. To Wikipedia! Yeah, it was part of the Final Fight franchise, basically, and it was called Final Fight, I believe. It wasn't Streetwise. It wasn't Streetwise at all. Streetwise was the other one for the PlayStation, wasn't it?
PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Yeah, so the one that I'm talking about, I'm trying to figure out what it was called. It kind of annoys me. I can't figure it out. Give me a little bit to find this, guys. But it was a prequel. It was a Final Fight game where Cody actually, you find out why Cody got arrested, and it was actually something to do with poison, believe it or not.
Oh.
It wasn't Final Fight Guy, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was called Final Fight. I'll find it. I will find it. I will find it, and I will kill it. That's weird. It was, I believe, Final Fight Revenge. Yes, it was Final Fight Revenge. Yeah! There's Michael Burhan, the powers of the internet. It was a free fighting game. It was produced by the American division of Capcom, which is never a good thing. And basically, what it was, the game basically had like the boss of the game was actually a zombie version of the Final Fight antagonist from the previous one, who was what was his name? I can't remember. Sorry, I told you Michael Burhan is going through a brain fart in this episode. But
Burhan,
yes,
Burhan, I hate to interrupt you right now, but I got some people that want to call in, but they don't know the Skype number.
It's 718-664-9265. That's 718-664-9265. And if you're listening to the show, there is a Skype button above that player that you can actually call in via Skype. Now, that's 718-664-9265. So call in now and get my
if you can't send that to me, and I'll copy and paste that.
Boo earns, Xander. Boo earns. Here you go. Oh no, that's not it. Okay, I'll send it to you on the Facebook chat because I love to face a bookie. I like to face a bookie. I like to, and I should stop doing that now. But yeah, so that was part of the Final Fight series. So let's talk about the main core titles, shall we? So let's talk about Final Fight. Who wants to go into the story of Final Fight? Zach, are you man enough to talk about Final Fight?
Well, I can tell you a couple things about it. I can't tell you many. I remember when I was a kid and I rented it, and that was a one-player fighting game. One-player beat 'em up, and it pissed me off to no end that it wasn't two-player. So you pretty much, you can choose from 3 people, I believe. Let's see. You can choose between. Does this one have Cody, Hager, and Guy?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so you can choose between the 3 of them, and they're all. One thing I thought that was really cool about Streets of Rage and Final Fight was that you had different people that actually had different stats and everything. So you can choose between the 3 of them, and you go around and you're beating people up, and you have enemies coming on from both sides of the screen, and you can like pick up like barrels and throw them at them, and then sometimes when you pick things, and then so you can find weapons on the ground and food on the ground, I believe, to refill your health, and you just pretty much beat the shit out of people. And I think there's just a boss at the end, and then you just keep going to the next level. I'm not sure what the story is. I just remember when I rented it for Super Nintendo, it was a port from an arcade, and in the arcade it was 2-player, but on Super Nintendo, I'm guessing due to the technical whatever things that they could only make it 1-player, and so that's why I didn't like it as much as I liked the original Streets of Rage, only because of that.
Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about the SNES version and how it differs from the arcade. Because Streets of Rage, for those who don't know, well, should I say Final Fight, should I say, because Streets of Rage was never released on the SNES, unless you have a modded copy. It basically was a fighting game that was supposed to be the sequel to Street Fighter 2, believe it or not. Or the sequel to Fighting Streets, but they instead made Street Fighter 2, so they turned this into its own game. It's a beat-em-up produced by Capcom. It was originally released in the arcade in 1989, which was when I was a little wee boy, and I got to stop being that. I don't know what's going on for me. Today I'm just going into Burhan gay mode. I have no idea. It has control of me.
Maybe I'm being a little fruity.
Yes, maybe I have a gay ghost. Now, anyway, it was the 7th title released for the CPE system hardware and set in the fictional Metro City. The player controls one of 3 characters: the former pro wrestler known as Mike Hager, aka Michael Burham, also his daughter's boyfriend Cody, aka Zach Latour, and then Guy, aka Xander Scullion. And it's set to defeat basically the Mad Gear Guy, who was headed by Travis Goss. And
funny.
Rescue Hager. You'd like it. You like Mad Gear. And also rescue Hager's daughter, Jessica. Now, the game was developed to be the sequel to the original Fighting Street in 1987, but it was switched to a fighting game to a beat-em-up, and then the title was changed following the success of Double Dragon to Final Fight. Development team. They later worked on the original Street Fighter 2, and some of the characters from Final Fight later appeared as playable fighters in the franchises such as Street Fighter Alpha sub-series. Final Fight was ported to various consoles such as the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, followed by a few sequels. Now, Zach was talking about, you didn't have all 3 playable characters. Do you know the reason why Capcom did this?
No.
It's to do with memory, I'm assuming.
Zach?
No, I don't know.
Go on, Sarah.
I think I watched the retrospective this morning. I think it has something to do with console limitations. I think that they cut out an entire area as well.
Yes, they did.
A bunch of different stuff, but I don't remember the reason why.
Well, maybe this person will know, as we're actually getting Chris Locks back on the show. Yay! In his Cesar's current voice. Yay! With spaghetti arms. Chris.
Yes, that is exactly the way to do it.
Yeah. Yay! Chris Locks, let's see if he comes on in a second. I'm trying to add him, but he's not adding yet. But
my week notice.
Yay! Chris.
Hey.
Can
you
you tell me the reason why Final Fight, when it was ported to the SNES, did not have full characters?
Oh, dude, I was just reading about this. Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, when it came over to the U.S., they removed, what was it? They removed Guy.
Yes.
And they just, it was probably because, I think it was because of the RAM. I didn't read, it didn't explain why they exactly took the character out, but I'm going to assume it's because the arcade port was too big for the Super Nintendo. And then they released later on, in order to try to rectify that, they released a version of it with just Guy and Hager and called it Final Fight Guy. So they took Cody out and then they put Guy in, and they were like, no, it's all good now. And then they released Final Fight 1 later on, which had all 3.
Which is funny because Final Fight Guy is a Blockbuster exclusive.
Yes, it was.
It's a sought-after Super Nintendo game.
Yes, it was. That's exactly what the thing I just read said. I was reading this on the way home because I was preparing to join you guys. But, yeah, that's awesome that you were talking about that.
Now, eventually, the full game was released on the Sega CD, included all 3 characters, awesome sounds, and also there was one thing that Chris kind of didn't mention, which was they changed Poison into a man.
Oh, yeah.
Because Nintendo had a thing about beating up women on games unless their name was Samus.
Or Sonya Blade.
Yes. So, there we go. So there we go on that one. But yeah, Chris, fortunately.
Dude, yeah, I can't believe that, wait, hold on, I'm stoned. I'm sorry. I can't believe that, was it Billy and Sid or something they named the characters? Is that true? Am I right there?
Yes.
They changed the characters to Billy and Sid.
Yes.
And then I guess didn't they do something where they added Poison in and just explained that she was like a transvestite or something like that?
I think it was like a transgender type thing.
Yeah, they like explained her as a transgender character so that they could like feel better about hitting her in the face.
That really doesn't make sense.
They just took one situation and made it worse. That's what happened.
Yeah, I think that like that in America, isn't that like still Poison's story that she's a transgender or trans?
It is a debate that goes beyond like the Final Fight fans. Like it's almost like who shot first.
Poison's a Street Fighter character. Now, I mean, she's technically, since Street Fighter and Final Fight are the same universe, like the original Final Fight was supposed to be Street Fighter 89.
Yeah.
That's what it was originally called. So the characters like all take place in the same universe, and that's why like they're putting Poison in Ultra Street Fighter, and Poison was in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. And I remember people like still saying that, like, oh yeah, that chick has a dick.
Hey, I would still do it if she had it.
I agree.
Guys,
I agree.
one second, we've got 2 callers in. We've got a caller in from the 843 area code. Caller, what is your name?
Matt.
Hello, Matt. Tell us a bit about yourself, Matt. What do you like? Do you like Final Fight or do you like Streets of Rage?
Final Fight, hands down.
Okay, so tell us why.
Probably because when it first came out, I was about 7 years old. They had just gotten it in at my local arcade, and as a kid, I used to just have tons of fun beating up my friends on it.
Awesome.
You used to be the guy just beating like friendly firing.
Sometimes if necessary. Sometimes if it was necessary.
We also
like my little brother.
We also have a caller in from the 609 area code. Caller from the 609 area code. Who are you? State your name.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Dan.
Hello,
what's
Dan.
up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
I think I know this guy.
Yeah, you know this guy. What's up, man?
What's up?
Okay, so tell us what you like, Streets of Rage or Final Fight, and give us an answer. What do you think?
I'm gonna have to go with Streets of Rage. Simply just because I grew up with a Sega Genesis, so I played every single Streets of Rage. I loved them. Me and my brothers played them together. I have the Final Fights now, and I don't really care for them.
Have you played the Streets of Rage remix that's currently out for download?
I have not. The 3DS one?
No, it's there's one that's available on free download that a group of developers have actually put together, and what they've done is they've kind of covered the plot holes. It's got brand new music. It sounds a lot better. They've also placed one of the central characters from Streets of Rage 1, who wasn't in 2 and 3, into the game as well. You can play as all characters go through different routes, purchase extra items. It's kind of awesome.
I think I'm going to have to play that now as soon as I get done with South Park.
Well, what we'll do, I will put a download for it because it's been taken down from the main site because they're called Bomber Gamers due to a cease and desist from Sega. But it's actually it's on for download on another site. So I'll post on the IGG page for anybody that wants to actually take a look at it and see it if they like it, download it. You can get it for downloaded PC. There's also a WAD file you can put on your Nintendo Wii. You can burn it for your Sega Saturn and also your Dreamcast, and then you can also put a copy of it on your Xbox that's been modded as well, and the 360. So there you go, guys. If you want a copy of that, take a look at it. It's an awesome remix edition of the game. So Xander, you take the pick. Which one are you going to give that case to and the T-shirt?
Well, what I'm going to do real quick is, since I had two people call at the same time, I'm actually going to a website right now called randomnumber.com, which pretty much... Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just flip a coin because, this is just going to slow me down. So I got Dan and Matt who called in for the 3DS case. So let's see. Heads is going to be Matt. Tails will be Dan. Flipping it now. And I got Tails. So, Dan, you win the 3DS case.
Woo!
Woohoo.
Awesome. And
Wait, you just flipped a coin for that?
Yeah.
Now that's cool.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Why don't we split the prize up? So, who do you give in the DS case to?
I'll tell you what. Let's give we'll give the case to Dan, and we'll give a T-shirt to Matt.
Yes.
There you go.
That sounds good.
Wait, T-shirt's a consolation prize?
No, it's not. The T-shirt's actually it's actually a great prize, but because you both called in at the same time, you will get an IGG T-shirt. I have one. Rob Mann from Happy Console Gamer and his lovely wife Tam have two themselves. IGG members also have T-shirts, including Xander Scullion, and I'm also teasing Zach Latour with a very special edition IGG T-shirt. And what we'll do, as it's the Streets of Rage versus Final Fight episode, what do you want on the T-shirt? Do you want Streets of Rage characters or Final Fight characters?
Final Fight.
Damn straight. Okay, we'll put that on there for you. Do me a favor, and after the show, just send us a message on the IGG page with your address details, and I'll make sure that's sent to you post haste.
Word.
Great.
And thanks for calling, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a lovely evening. And is there anything that you guys want to say to our legions of fans out there?
Game on.
Yeah.
Game on.
Game on. Let's go buy South Park.
Yeah, Stick of Truth. Heard good things. Thanks, guys. Have a nice one. Okay, so we're continuing with this debate now. So we're, as you know, ladies and gents, we're currently talking about Streets of Rage and Final Fight. We're touching on Final Fight as it is at the moment. We've got another caller coming from the 862 area code. So
sweet, I know who that is.
Let's bring him up. Caller from the 862 area code. You are live on I Got Gameplay.
Hi,
hey,
Josh.
what's up? Hey, Chris.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, no problem.
Which do you like better, man? Streets of Rage or Final Fight?
You know, I'm gonna have to go for. I'm gonna have to go for Final Fight.
Sweet. So tell us the reason behind that.
You know, Streets of Rage was Sega produced, and I didn't have a Sega growing up. I only had a Super Nintendo, and so Final Fight was out for the Super Nintendo. I never actually got to play Streets of Rage. Yeah, by default.
Oh man, wait, do you not have the Sega Genesis collection?
No.
Oh, I know you have an Xbox.
Yeah, if you get the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection for the PS3 or the Xbox 360, it has all three Streets of Rage games on there.
Or the Genesis collection for the Xbox 360 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that for I have the Xbox 360. Is that on the arcade?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can buy it on disc. You can buy it on disc. It is on arcade, but it's on
all right.
You buy that collection, you get the game as part of the collection on the Sega Genesis collection in the United States and the Sega Mega Drive collection here in the UK. We'll also put a download link for PC, Wii, and Dreamcast for the Streets of Rage remix, which I recommend anybody to play. I played it yesterday. It's freaking amazing. It ties everything up to all 3 games and includes all characters from all 3 games in there as well, including characters that you never knew that you could even play in the game.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. I'm kind of convinced, Michael.
I think you should be convinced. I think anybody, if you basically haven't played this game yet, find the download link, Google the freaking thing, and play it. And as for Sega, look, guys, it's a remix, so what we're going to tell you. Anyway, I support this game, and I support the remix made by Bomber Games, who have done something extremely amazing with that. Is there anything else that you want to say, dude, before we let you go?
I don't think so. I think that's it. Final Fight.
Bye, Josh.
Have a nice one, Josh.
All right.
Big shout out to Josh, Matt, and Dan there. And Matt and Dan are going to be getting their separate prizes, including their DS case and also their IGG T-shirts from us. Special Streets of Rage versus Final Fight edition, which is going to have Final Fight characters on there as well. So that's really, really great. It's nice to have sort of like a slew of callers coming in. As soon as we post free shit, people start calling in like a massive.
Yeah.
Free shit equals calls.
Free shit equals calls. I agree with you on that. But that's all good, guys. So yeah, as we were talking about Final Fight, the core games on the Super Nintendo basically had it just was laid out all wrong. I don't understand the reason why Capcom did it, because they managed to fit 3 characters in Final Fight 2. Has anyone actually played that game?
Final Fight 2, yes. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember it burned me. The only ones I remember very clearly are Final Fight 1 and 3.
I played Final Fight 2. Actually, I have a really funny story about Final Fight 2. I actually did a crossover review with another YouTuber from the Ukraine named Butthead Obozer. He did Final Fight, and then I did Final Fight 2, and it was really fun. Final Fight 2, what was interesting about it is it did fix a lot of the things that people wanted in the first Final Fight, mainly being 2-player co-op. But I know they did change some of the characters. Like you had a Native American guy that was like really good with karate and wrestling moves on there. I do remember that.
Can we look at the story behind this game, because it's kind of weird. This game was, again, side-scrolling beat 'em up by Capcom. It was made for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in '93. It's a sequel to the first Final Fight game, and was previously also released on SNES as Final Fight 2. Was developed by Capcom Consumer Division, and there was no coin-up version of this game. It was exclusively for the Super Nintendo. And it followed the game with another SNES exclusive, including Final Fight 3. Now, Final Fight 2 doesn't deviate from the original story in terms of gameplay, although unlike the SNES version of the first game, this version you could actually play 3 different characters, and you also have loads of different cooperative modes in the game as well. Now, the plot of the game was that time has passed since Mike Hager, along with his friends Cody and Guy, defeated Mad Gear Gang and restored peace to Metro City. While the trio has continued living their normal lives, Cody took a vacation with his girlfriend Jessica, and Guy going off for a training journey because apparently he's Ryu. Hager continues to run Metro City as mayor, surviving the Mad Gear members. They have secretly regrouped, plotting for revenge. Revengeance! And under the new leader, they begin kidnapping Guy's fiancée in Japan, Rina, along with her father, Guy's former sensei, Genrusei? I have no idea. Let's just call him Chris. Now, Guy nowhere to be found. Guy nowhere to be found. Basically, Rina's younger sister, Maki Genusei, aka Sarah here, calls Hager and informs him of the situation. Accompanied by his friend Carlos Miyamoto, aka Chris Locks, Hager travels to Eurasia and meets up with Maki, and the 3 of them join forces to take the newly revived Mad Gear Gang on after a series of fights in several countries that leads them to Japan, where they fight Retu. Seriously? Is that the guy from Ratatouille? He's the new leader of the Mad Gear Gang.
Isn't that Retsu?
It says here Retu. That's me.
I thought it was Retsu.
That would actually make more sense, but still. And apparently, Guy, after they rescue Guy's girlfriend, writes him a letter thanking them for all they have done. Seriously, guy doesn't show up. He's like, yeah, guys, I know my girlfriend was kidnapped, and I'm probably going to get dumped after this, but thanks, by the way, I'm sending you a letter.
Lame.
And I don't get how Hager gets to, like, you know, he's a mayor. It must be the easiest job in the world being mayor of Metro City, because all he has to do is go there and basically fight people in several different countries and not do his job as mayor. That's why the America's in the shit, people, because of mayors like Hager going off to fight people in Japan for stealing his daughter and girlfriend, etc., and not doing his fucking job. That's why we're in a recession.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'm backtracking just a little bit here, but I just realized what DS case you gave away, and I'm wondering why that one. Did you just have that, Travis? Did you just have it lying around?
No. Xander had that lying around.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I'm like,
much...
that has nothing to do with Streets of Rage or Final Fight.
Well, no, what happened was it was actually a case that my sister had bought, but she ended up getting a 3DS XL, so I just had a brand new case laying around, and I'm no way I'm a collector, but I'm not a hoarder, so I have no purpose to have this case right now.
He was actually going to give it to me, and then I basically told my case, my blue case that was recommended to me by Dave Wade, and then Xander got in a bitch fit and said, no, I'm bringing it away now live on the show. And then people sent some free shit, decided to call in order to attempt to get this thing, and that's the fun part of it. Now, so let's continue with this. Final Fight 2, perception, Xander. What did you think of the game? Did you think did it match Final Fight 1?
Yeah. I thought it did.
No.
It was fun.
Well, I mean, like, I like Maki. I mean, she ended up being a cool character in Street Fighter, like Street Fighter Alpha 3, so that's cool. But that's the only good thing that came out of that game.
It's actually quite
like,
funny that she's wearing, like, literally nothing. She's, like, wearing this short skirt.
She's like my Shiranai. Or something. Whatever the fuck she wore is the same. Well, I guess she doesn't really wear anything either.
And apparently there's a cameo in the game from Chun-Li who has a cup of tea, or she's eating noodles or something at a local kiosk in China as they fight in China.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. So there you go on that one. Anybody else got any perceptions of Final Fight 2?
No.
Sounds cool.
Nah.
Okay, let's go on to Final Fight 3 then, shall we? So, Chris, can you tell us about Final Fight 3, or are you a bit too pepped up on Meatballs?
Pepped up? Wait, who's Meatballs? Your Meatballs? Okay, no, check this out. So Final Fight 3 was pretty dope, right? Because after all of this shit went down in Final Fight 2, okay, this gang called the Skullcross Gang came through, and they were all like, I'm going to fuck up Metro City. And Guy was like, nah, I'm coming back to Metro City to avenge that motherfucker.
See, that he comes back for. He doesn't come back for his girlfriend.
He came back because Metro City is his girlfriend, man. Anyway, check it out.
Metro City's a sexy lady.
Okay, wait. I just remembered something that I'm going to have to bring up after we talk about Final Fight 3 that's completely related to Final Fight and me and rapping. But anyway, check this out. So, these motherfuckers came through, and they were trying to fuck up Metro City, and Guy came out and was like, hey, Hager, let's go whoop some ass. And
Hager was like, how's your girlfriend, by the way? Oh, yeah, she doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, yeah, she's, like, dead. So, so whatever. Lucia is a character who nobody plays with her, doesn't really matter. And then, like, Dean, and nobody plays with him either, so fuck that. And basically, the gameplay is way better, the graphics are way better, it's fast, it's fun, it's fucking dope.
Yes. So
that's my end. That's the end of mine.
We're going to talk a little bit about this as well. Basically, you get to play basically Guy and Hager in this game as well as there's other characters in this game. Is there? Because I've never played number 3. I know I'm a bit of a...
There's Dean. He's like, I don't know, man. He's just like a kind of a carbon copy of like a Cody and Carlos, like a mix between them, you know. And then there's like this character called Lucia. I don't know, man. I just play the guy, dude.
And also a person called Lucia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like she's a police officer from Metro City. It's like, really? A police officer who doesn't do her job, a mayor who doesn't do his job, and a guy that won't go and fend for his girlfriend, but the city's in trouble.
Final Fight is basically full of characters that don't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's like they go and fight for the city is my love. I don't love you enough, so I won't go and defend you. I'll write a lovely letter to everybody else for rescuing you, but I won't go and defend you. I will defend my city though, because I make love to the walls. That's what Guy does.
You know what it could be? It could be like Final Fight. It's a game of people fighting their responsibilities.
Good boy.
And that's just my final word on that.
That's basically the IGG perspective on that. So Final Fight is the game of people fighting their responsibilities. Now let's talk a little bit about the gameplay here, guys. Can you tell me about basically the gameplay of this game? Because it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. How hard was it when everyone's played these games, even 1, 2, or 3? How hard was the gameplay in this game?
They're pretty hard because these are the kinds of games that need to have a second player. I know the first one, at least on the Super Nintendo, having a second player was almost impossible. So you had to be really, really good at this game because it's very difficult. Mm-hmm. But on the whole, they are very challenging games. I mean, what beat 'em up isn't? But like I said, you just have to have a second player. That's basically...
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Like the first game was like impossible. There's no way I don't know. Has any of you guys beaten that game?
Yes, my 2 small children beat that game.
Really?
They got the download on Xbox 360 because preparing for the show, I downloaded the Double Impact game, which has Final Fight and also another game on there, which I saw from the Happy Console Gamer. Johnny, shout out to Johnny and Rob there for recommending this game. But my 7-year-old daughter and my 3-year-old son completed the game. So hold your head
together.
To shame. Together.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the original with one player.
You're talking about a Super Nintendo game because if you download like the arcade game for the Final Fight and Impact, you can put it on free play and you can beat it that way. But that's
not the original game on one player.
I played it
it's like beating Contra without the code.
Well, I beat it on the SNES, and I'm proud of beating it. So fuck you guys.
Okay, well, good for you. Good for you,
Mike. It is good for me. It is good for me.
It is. I'm not.
Yeah, I got that.
Surprise, motherfucker.
just for Zach. Let's just put it on there because he's gagging for this. He is gagging for it.
Wait. I'm gonna send you that.
Surprise, motherfucker. I love that.
Yes, and also my favorite one, of course, is the lovely
Step away from the duck.
Yes, Final Fight, step away from the duck. Okay, so what about Final Fight 2, Chris? Did you manage to complete that?
No, I said that earlier. I never beat Final Fight 2.
So you've never beaten any of the Final Fight games?
I beat Final Fight 3.
Well, hey! How did you do on that?
Well, that was my brother and I. We just fucking played it all the time. Like, every day. Because we were poor, and that's the only game I had. No, I'm just kidding. No. We just, I mean, that one was a lot. I think that was a lot easier than the first game. Like, I think that having another person and being able to play 2-player is the key in like all of those games. Because even like Streets of Rage 1 is pretty hard with one person.
Okay, I agree on that one. So, what about you, Travis? Have you ever completed it, or do you just no?
I've completed the first one, but like the arcade game, when I had this, I still have the Capcom Classic Arcade Collection Volume 1. But that was like the only one I've beaten. I haven't played Final Fight 2 or 3.
Okay. What about you, /Zach, /Kyler, /Kitty?
The only one I think on Super Nintendo that I ever played was the first one. I don't think I could ever find the second or third one, or Guy. No, actually, I remember seeing Guy at Blockbuster, and I don't know why I didn't rent it, and I should have rented it and just never brought it back, looking back now. But, no, the only one that I ever played was the first one. And Streetwise.
And Streetwise. Well, that's another thing we're going to talk about before we sound on. Let's go for about Final Fight Streetwise.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So, Chris, tell us what you thought about it, because you were saying that you liked it.
No, I liked it. I mean, I also didn't get, like I said, I didn't earlier. I didn't get to beat it because my brother sold it behind my back, like when I was halfway through.
Well, what did you do? Did he pull it out the console and when you went to get a sandwich?
No, I literally. Okay, this is fucked up. I came home one day. I think my brother was in debt to somebody or some shit, dude, because I had bought all of these, like a slew of Xbox original games. This was like right as soon as the Xbox 360 came out, so they were like dumb cheap, and they're all like $10. I bought like Castlevania, which Castlevania was that? The first Castlevania.
Curse of Darkness?
Yeah, Curse of Darkness. And I bought like Conker's, Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, Live and Reloaded.
Uncensored, live and uncut or whatever. And Final Fight Streetwise, and that was the first one that I started playing. I got about 25% of the way through, I want to say. Played it for maybe 3 hours, and I came home one day after work, and my Xbox was gone, and all the games were gone. And in its place, in its place was a driving controller for the PS2, because we had a PS2 also. The driving controller for a PS2, and Midnight Club 2. And that's it. That was the entire trade. I asked my brother, I was like, yeah, exactly. And I put it, I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck is going on? My brother goes, well, I traded the Xbox to my friend for Midnight Club 2. And,
Betrayal!
Like,
Betrayal!
Yeah.
Betrayed me!
Oh my God! I should just let you tell the rest of this. Okay, no, but seriously. So that's what happened. That's why I never beat Final Fight Streetwise, because my brother stole my Xbox, and
again, to Chris's brother, we say this:
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Yeah, and you deserve an extra one, dude. You deserve an extra one for that. It's
true, dude. That was pretty bad, dude.
Seriously.
I think that was the worst day of my life up to that point.
If my brother did that, I would have been kicking his ass all the way around the house.
I don't really have a good relationship with my brother.
Yeah, I would have smacked him in the face. I'm not gonna lie. If someone
we fought a whole bunch, don't worry. Yeah, but that was that was pretty bad. So. No, I never beat Final Fight Streetwise, unfortunately.
I have to do that again, dude. Seriously.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Seriously, dude. I put the remix of this shit on there. What were you thinking, Chris's brother? If you want to defend yourself, 718-664-9265 and apologize. Apologize to this man. That's just terrible.
I appreciate that.
You should appreciate that, because I mean out of love.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to... You keep talking, but I'll be right back.
He'll be right back. He's just going to sob over the Xbox.
I have to go cry.
So, Xander, have you had any experience with Final Fight Streetwise?
No. I've actually never played it.
I know. That's just really bad. You haven't.
I'm honestly waiting to the Streets of Rage.
I know. I can tell. He's kind of waiting with anticipation. Xander's shaking at the moment. Wait to talk about this game. So, anybody else played Final Fight Streetwise?
Yeah, I have.
Go for it.
One thing I love doing is that I don't do it anymore because there's nothing so when DS and PS2 and Xbox were out, I would love to go to GameStop and just find their $4.99 and under titles and buy them and play them and see if they were good or they were shitty. and one that I bought was Final Fight Streetwise, and I had been looking for it forever. So I got it, and I'll tell you, man, I had a great time with that game. I thought it was fucking funny. It was, you could tell that it was ridiculous as hell and meant to be, and I got to the final boss of the game, and I couldn't beat him. And the reason I couldn't beat him is because when you go, I think you just pay money for, like, you can either get like a longer health bar, like a longer I don't know what the other bar is, or you can a
longer dick bar,
or you can like get like new moves. And I think where my downfall was, I bought too many moves that I didn't end up using that much. So my bars weren't very long. Like, they were long. They were long as far as I tell the women. So the bars weren't as long as they could have been. And I had some moves unlocked.
Come on.
I had some moves unlocked that I didn't use. So I think like the combination of that is why I couldn't fucking beat him. I mean, I played him at least like 35 times. I couldn't beat him. I couldn't beat the fucking last guy.
Imagine if you're a lady just walking into that conversation, the bar wasn't long enough, and they'll just be like, "What?"
Yeah. They know.
Then it will turn into like monkey paper dishwasher. But yeah, as you were saying, so you couldn't beat it because your bar wasn't long enough.
Yeah, my bar wasn't long enough, so I couldn't beat it. I needed more lube. But anyway, anyway, I enjoyed it. I mean, that game cost me like $2.99, and I played it for like 3 days straight or whatever. I mean, I liked it. I thought, you know, there was different parts of the city you could explore, and there was like different mini games and shit. Like, you could like beat guys' asses like in this like boxing ring and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it sounded awesome.
Yeah.
But I watched a playthrough of it because I never even knew this game existed. So I watched a playthrough of it on YouTube. The only thing that I just found really weird was the voiceovers. The characters were voiced so badly.
Oh yeah. Well, I think
that's right.
That can definitely be like funny and cheesy. But I remember there was one part of Final Fight Streetwise, and the guys. Did you watch the playthrough like Two Best Friends Play? Is that the one that you watched?
Yes.
Okay, there's a segment of Final Fight Streetwise, and I can't quite remember where it is in the game. It's like towards the end, and I couldn't beat it. Like, it took me like 50 tries to beat this shit, and I was about to like pull my hair out and like punch myself in the balls because I couldn't beat it. But I eventually got past it, and I don't know. If you guys can find it, you know, give it a play. Don't just write it off because the world said it sucked balls. I mean, it's not that bad.
I agree. One thing about Final Fight Streetwise is that you can actually unlock the original Final Fight arcade game, but the emulation on that was terrible. It was horrible.
But it's
Travis, I can test that.
Yeah, so what made this game, like, a lot of people gave this game bad reviews. This game was critically panned.
Yeah.
What made it so bad? What made it so dysfunctional?
Well, there's things like you were talking about, like the shitty-ass voice acting. Like, sometimes that can actually be a plus because it's so funny, it's so bad. And, I don't know, plus it wasn't really even like a Final Fight game. It was just like, it was almost like an open-world game with like Final Fight characters.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was an open-world game where you played as like some random dude and then ran into characters.
Yeah, it was like Cody's brother was in it, who never makes an appearance ever again. Like he was written out of history, basically.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't even. I mean, I'm pretty sure that somebody just. Yeah, let's just give him a brother. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Just in case it goes bad, people just won't even remember it. Wait, did you talk about Street Fighter 2010: The Final Fight?
No, I didn't, because I never considered that canon. But go for it.
Well, because it was called The Final Fight, so...
I love that game. I really love that game.
That reminds me, what about Mighty Final Fight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, I forgot about that. That's like where they're all chibi, right?
Yeah.
And you know they were chibi because of the system limitations.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But
that's Nintendo, right? That's on the Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what made that one so cool? It actually had all three of the main characters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Good job.
Thank you. I used to own that game, so yeah.
Okay, so moving on from that now, guys. Give us an out of 10 for the Final Fight franchise. Give us an out of 10. We'll start with you, Xander. Out of 10, what would you give it?
A 9. I love the series.
Sarah, what about yourself?
Speaking for someone who hasn't really played it, probably like an 8, just from what I've heard. It sounds pretty good.
Cool. Kyler/Kitty/Zach. His bar isn't long enough.
Yeah, well, the only complaint I have was that the first one wasn't 2-player. Other than that, the games are fantastic. I'm going with a 9, absolutely. The games kick ass.
Travis?
Well, if we're going to talk about all the games in this series, I'm going to have to give it an 8 because Final Fight Street-wise really was not very good.
Travis, go back and play that game again. I'm not saying it's fucking Chrono Trigger, but go back and play it again and get some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of Shenmue meets Final Fight, just like the animation. It looked like Shenmue to me.
Maybe you were blind.
It looked like Shenmue, dude.
Maybe someone threw like paint in your eye.
Since I no longer have the game or anything like that, I can't really.
A very milky white paint.
It's just like, my eyes. Oh, that game looks like Shenmue. Ah!
Oh, I get it. It's like cum.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes.
Oh God.
So I just sit there going, I'm writing my resignation letter to Ivan. So, Nick, what about you?
Based off of just playing the first one, which is the only one I was able to play on the Game Boy Advance, I would probably give it a 7.
Awesome. Okay, so round it off, we will give it a very solid 8, because also for myself, I will give it a 9 out of 10 because of my nostalgic gameplays through it. I love the game. I think it's awesome. Now, let's talk about a game developed by Sega now. And just let you know, guys, we will be going into the archive after the next 12 minutes. So if you do want to call in, let us know your thoughts. It's 718-664-9265. And then we're going to head over to the archive, and you'll get to listen to that after the episode's finished. So, yeah, Sega developed their own version. Because, as people didn't actually know, Capcom actually had an exclusive licensing deal with Nintendo at the time for properties like Final Fight, Street Fighter, etc. And they couldn't actually release it on other platforms. Now, they developed a game called Streets of Rage because everyone knows that the 90s is, what? It's extreme! So who wants to talk about Streets of Rage? So we'll go with Xander.
Well, I mean, Streets of Rage had a very similar story. It was pretty much a clone of Final Fight. You played as 3 characters. Axel looked a lot like Cody. Then you had a chick, and you had another dude, and you're fighting on the streets. But one of the things that I really liked about Streets of Rage was it had such a great soundtrack to it. And another thing too is what was different with Final Fight and Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage had that one button, that power-up button that you would push, and you would get help from like the police and stuff like that. I remember you would push the button, and this like cop car that looked a lot like a DeLorean would come out of nowhere, and a cop would just come out with a bazooka and just shoot everything. I thought that was awesome.
Best power-up ever.
Damn straight. And the funny thing is, in those games, it was never actually explained, but in the remix, they actually take their time to have a little cutscene where the guy's talking to him and saying, yeah, we're here to support you. If you need us, we will kind of run out of ammo in times. Just make sure that you give us a shout, and we will help you out through any situation that you go through. But it was actually kind of funny. There was even one where you're on top of a building and it's like a fucking skyrise, and then the car comes out of nowhere and shoots the fucking rocket, and it takes like 10 minutes to come to you.
Oh my God, that long?
Yeah, only Sega. It's only with Sega. But yeah, I had an amazing experience with the first Streets of Rage game, and we'll talk about a little bit of the plot, the story to it, and how it mirrors Final Fight. So we'll do that now. And then go into experiences for everybody. Streets of Rage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, the game was known as Bare Knuckle in Japan, and it was a side-scrolling beat-em-up similar to Final Fight. It was released in 1991 on the Mega Drive, and it was the first installment of the Bare Knuckle / Streets of Rage series, and it was also converted to the Game Gear. Bare Knuckle!
Bare Knuckle!
Bare Knuckle! The Mega CD, and also the Master System of 2007, and it was also on the Virtual Console release as well. It's also an iOS game on the App Store, which was atrocious. I can't play it. It's that bad.
Wait, what?
It was on iOS app as well. It's on the App Store. You can download it for I think it's like $5 to $7.
Who would play a beat 'em up game on a touchscreen anyway? That's a no-brainer.
Video games on touchscreens anyway.
Well, I bought it because I was bored one day and needed a game to play. So don't judge me.
Well, we just did.
Well, I mean, some games are fun. Like the Street Fighter 4 on the touchscreen is pretty fucking dope, actually.
You know what, Xander?
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
There you
I'll
go.
never get tired of that.
What is that from?
That's actually Spoonie.
Really?
Yeah.
What
It
episode?
does sound like him.
He was doing the Ultima series of games, and when they basically did the final Ultimate game, he basically said that. And so what I did is downloaded the file, chopped out someone else's voice who was in there as well, and just played it on loop. So now every time I get betrayed, I say this.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
There you go.
That is smooth.
Cool.
Cool.
Whenever someone
Pretty awesome soundbite.
So yeah, the Streets of Rage series, and we're talking about it, was released in 1991, and it was the start of a beautiful franchise, and as Xander said, it had an amazing, amazing soundtrack. Do we know who made the soundtrack, Xander?
Yeah, it was actually Yuzo Kajiro. Yuzo Kajiro.
No.
I will say this: I share a birthday with him.
Yes. Now the game. Yeah, go on, Xander.
I will say he also did, of course, Streets of Rage soundtrack. He did ActRaiser and the Shinobi series.
Yes, he did, and Shinobi has some of the best.
Dude, Shinobi is fucking tight.
Okay. I'm not gonna... Yeah, I'm
gonna play Shinobi right now. Stop talking to you guys.
Yeah, my hand makes everything look cool just by doing that. I'm gonna get Standard to play it as a kazoo. When we did the Shinobi series, we'll just play the kazoo version.
I'm gonna do a cover of it.
I think you should.
Do it.
Doing it.
Well, I need to get some musicians that are equally video game nerdy as.
You know what? You should get Xander on his kazoo. I just think it should.
Xander, are you actually good at kazoo? Is he just fucking with you?
Yeah. I have a kazoo, but I mean, I actually play real instruments. But yeah, I got a kazoo.
Let's do an internet collaboration and do some fucking video game music, dude.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, I do chip tunes as well, so that'd be
Sweet.
Oh, give up the chip tunes, Xander. Give up the band. Just play the fucking kazoo.
Play the fucking kazoo.
Your life is now the kazoo.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
He wants you to blow things.
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm just gonna be sitting there and that, like, Mike, I can't. I'm like, pretend it's a kazoo. Close your eyes.
That reminds me of the South Park when the South Park with the sea monkeys, and he Cartman had to go get semen to put in there, and he's like, I got the first however many of it from the sperm donor, but then I had to go get the rest of it from a hobo and suck it out of a hose or whatever.
Oh.
And, yeah, whatever.
Oh.
So he got a bunch by sucking someone's dick. Whatever.
You suck it out of the hole really slow and close my eyes.
Just to let you know, guys, going from that comment, we are on 288 likes on the I Got Gameplay page. We are having a slew of people liking our page at the moment, and I'm glad to see it. Thank you for everybody that likes the page. It's giving us a hell of a lot of promotion at the moment. And thank you to Xander for also doing that promotional Lego Batman case thingy. And if I knew, if I knew that he was actually giving it away for free, I could have had this conversation with him an hour ago, and hopefully have got it beforehand. But he generated more people listening to the show, so that works in. We had 5 callers today.
Nice.
But yeah,
thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now let's continue with Streets of Rage, raging. So basically, the synopsis for this, the plot story goes where the city was once peaceful. It's now been taken over by a crime syndicate, including the police. So the police are involved in it, even though you have a police car that backs you up. So there's a mass violence, and Adam Hunter, who's an accomplished boxer, who's my favourite character in the series, and when they didn't bring him back for the other 2 games, I was kindly upset, you know. Axel Stone, who I think is a pussy. Blaze Fielding, who I really would like to bang, but she's a gaming character, so I couldn't. I was like, those sprites are sexy.
You can just find a girl that looks like her.
Yeah, have a cosplay.
Chris,
No, bad.
Chris, do you know any girls that look like her and cosplay like her?
I know girls that look like her, but they won't cosplay because, unfortunately, I don't know any cool girls.
Okay, well, are they single and do they like English accents? That's all I need to know.
No and yes.
Okay, so we will basically need to talk after the show. Hopefully get Michael Burhan some poontang. Anyway. So we've got Blaze here as well.
I'm playing Shinobi 3, by the way, just so everybody knows.
I think you should know. And the great thing about this game as well, these guys are ex-police officers, of course, because that's what happens when the police force is corrupt. You go out on the streets yourself and become vigilantes, because that's what me, Xander, and Zach do in our spare time.
Yeah, and like shoot fucking bad guys with they have grenade launchers or.
Yeah,
rocket launchers. Down grenades, in Streets of Rage 1, you can rain down grenades on people. What the hell is that? It's so weird.
Yeah, it is very, very weird.
It's why would they? They're cops. They're trying to kill everyone. What?
Yeah, it was they're a gang. We're vigilantes. We're just gonna go and fucking do what we do.
It's like the end of Man of Steel. Superman's trying to save the world while he causes over $1 billion worth of damage.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
in other words, it sounds like Streets of Rage is the exact opposite of Final Fight.
And also kills a bunch of people as well at the same time. I want to save this family of 3, but I've killed billions in Metropolis.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to save them because I'm Superman. But that's for another episode. If you want to hear about what we talked about that before, check out the Untitled Movie Show with Miguel Leon. So it's a very, very weird situation going on at the moment. And the thing about it as well, this game gives you a choice at the end. Now, for those of you who haven't played it, you get a choice at the end when you face the big boss. Now, what does he say to you, Zach? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
You don't remember? Do you remember, Xander?
No.
He gives you a choice to join him or face him, or basically join me or die. He's like, I really like the fact that you've gotten to this far. Why don't you join me? Can we both rule together? And the thing is, you can make that choice and fight against your partner and kill them. And once you kill them, he gives you a reward. Do you know what reward he gives you? He sends you back a level.
That's lame.
Nothing matters, Jesus.
That was the biggest catfish on the fucking planet. Exactly. We should. I picked it because I did it. I went past the first game with my brother, and then I killed him, and then he threw me back a level, and then I completed the game. And then there was the other one where you say no, which is the true part of it that you should do, because if you say yes, you're just going to be back again. He'll do this continuously, by the way, because he'll ask you this again and again and again. And then you go, basically, and you kill him, and then all is well in the world. Now, just so you know, John Weston just left a comment on our Facebook page saying it's like having your 2 kids dangling off on a cliff, and you can only save one. So not to be an ass, you let them both fall to their deaths.
Oh, so like the ending of The Good Son.
Yes.
Which is made up bullshit.
Yeah, we're just gonna... Oh, there's 2 kids, I can only save one. Yeah, you're both gonna die because Daddy can't choose. See, Xander... Zach would just basically have his hand and his dick down. And
I'd be too busy tugging away.
Yeah, he would just throw his dick down, and he was like, the bar's not long enough!
While Xander played the
kazoo. Yeah. Sam's walking around randomly playing the kazoo. So let's talk about experiences with this game. So Xander, let's talk about us first. What was your experience with it? What made it so great? And who was your favorite character?
I honestly, I couldn't hear you because the woman just told us we had 10 seconds on the air.
So basically, who was your favorite character in the game? And also, what was your experience with it?
With the first Streets of Rage?
Yes.
My favorite was Axel. I liked Axel because I don't know, he just looked like that stereotypical 80s,
Betrayal!
early 90s pass.
Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Yeah.
I'm an Adam guy, Sander. I'm an Adam guy. So yeah, go on.
But yeah, I mean, I thought he was cool, and I really loved the game. The first time I played it was when I had first gotten my Sega Genesis. I got the Genesis 6-pack, and that was one of the games that was on it. It also had
That just sounds like a beer, Genesis 6-pack.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish it was, dude.
Dude, it's an awesome cart, especially for someone that just got a Sega Genesis. I mean, 6 games on one cartridge, like, Golden Axe, Revenge of Shinobi. I mean, fuck, that was awesome.
I hate how they would put those kind of packages together, and it's like they would sell each one individually, and it's like you can totally put all these games on one. Fuck you. Fuck Sega. Sorry, I'm drinking.
You can tell he's drinking. So, what about you, Chris? Have you played it?
Yeah, the first Streets of Rage. Yeah, I played it a lot. I'm most familiar with the third one. Same with Final Fight, but I did play the first one quite a bit when I was a kid, and I actually play that one the most now when I play. Just because I've never beaten. I've only gotten to level 8. I've always gotten to level 8, and we've died. So I'm trying to beat it still up to this day. Actually, like 2 weeks ago, my girl and I tried to do it, and we failed.
Oh.
We failed. I'm playing Streets of Rage 2 right now, though.
By the way, Zach, you've actually inspired a gaming meme now, because apparently Wesley Jorbert, he's creating basically his own MMO, and Zach's character in the game is saying that his sword's not long enough.
Oh, good.
Uh-oh.
So that's going to be part of the game there, Zach. You've started something.
Awesome. I'm influencing the world one day at a time.
He is. I think I'm gonna turn that to a meme and just get it out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Chris's experience. What about you, Nick? Have you played the game?
Sorry, I still had you on mute. I have not played the game, but I have seen gameplay of it. And it looks interesting, but I would love to get the Genesis version over the Game Gear because the Genesis version is supposed to have more in it.
Yeah, of course.
Travis, what about you?
Oh, I love Streets of Rage 1 because, well, actually, I love the series. It's just damn good. To be honest, I'm not saying that Final Fight wasn't.
It had that extra spice and seasoning.
It did. It really did. And by the way, a little fun fact for you too. Do you know the theme song to Streets of Rage actually sampled the drum loops from Enigma's Sadness Part 1?
I never knew that.
Like it. Yeah.
Enigma was actually one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite composers back when I was a kid, and I loved it. He has some amazing sort of like down to earth kind of tracks as well. Plus, he did this like very sexy kind of track that's always used in love scenes.
So if you go back and listen to the theme song to Streets of Rage, it sounds like you're listening to Sadness Part 1.
It is sadness.
In his penis. Song. So, okay, let's go to Zach. Zach, what was so badass about it?
Well, I want to talk about the first time I ever even saw this game, because I had a Super Nintendo back in the day, but I remember one time, I don't remember what grade I was in, we had some stupid-ass school, like, concert where the kids get up and, like, they sing, like, garbage and everyone claps like it's good. And anyway, so I remember when my class was, like, waiting, and my buddy, like, walked in with a Game Gear and had Streets of Rage, and I was just like blown away watching him play. I thought it was awesome. It was the shit, like throwing people over your shoulders and just beating the shit out of people. It was just so cool. It's just a great game. The first one and the second one I liked. I've never played the third one. I've never even seen the third one, but it's just a good game. It definitely rivaled Final Fight in my opinion, and plus they were all 2-player, which was awesome. And obviously, except for actually the Game Gear one was too, but I think you have to have 2 copies of the game and a link cable. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Kick ass. Good game.
Okay. So let's go to you, Sarah. What did you think of the game?
I haven't played it, but when you were talking about the ending where you get kind of a choice, well, quotation marks choice, I found that kind of interesting because I ran across that in the retrospectives you posted, or the one that I found. The other ones weren't that well made. But it's kind of interesting where it's like you can choose to join the bad guy and kill your teammate, but then it throws you back a level, so the only right answer is, you know, be the hero and stuff. I almost would wish to see a an alternate thing where you have two endings, where it's like, you know, you choose to join the guy and then it's like, you know, that's the choice that you make and then you end the game that way. So it's kind of weird that the only choice you can literally only make is the good guy one. It's like, why would they do that?
Subtle less the morality in your video game.
Yeah.
It was. I believe it was their attempt to catfish you. It was like, we're gonna do this.
Catfish beforehand.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna say that you're gonna be part of the bad guys, and then we're gonna give you a slap on the wrist for doing it by putting you back a level. You know what? I will say as well, Streets of Rage 1 was the only game I've ever completed using the Sega Genesis steering wheel.
Wait, really?
How that works?
It actually worked as a second controller. I know, it was so weird. I was a kid. We were poor, and we didn't have a second controller, so I used the steering wheel as a second controller, and it worked. It was great. I was using the triggers, because I got the steering, you know, it was the steering wheel that you use for, like, racing games, but you can also use it for Afterburner. So,
yeah.
I had it with the top triggers and stuff, and you could use the top triggers for punching and kicking, and use the steering wheel to go left and back and stuff like that, and I was just doing it. It was fucking hard, but and I completed the game as Adam because, unlike Xander, who's the betrayer, I basically managed to actually complete the game with him, and he was awesome. But then Streets of Rage 2 happened. Does anyone want to talk about Streets of Rage 2 to plot?
Well, actually, I have one thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, go for
it. And I'm pretty sure in the arcade version of Double Dragon, at the end it says here, the game normally ends if a single player defeats the final boss alone. However, if two players manage to complete the game together, they are then forced to fight each other in order to determine who will win Marian's affection. And so that, if you guys ever, so that was in the arcade version of Double Dragon. But if you ever played the Warriors on PS2 or Xbox, after you beat the Warriors game, they like an unlockable was a 2D version of the Warriors, where it was pretty much just like the arcade version of Double Dragon, but with the Warriors characters. And then when you got to the very end, it was like an homage to Double Dragon because you had to fight each other, you know, for her. So I'm guessing that's where some of those things come from.
Very, very true. And it is kind of an homage to Double Dragon, but it was also one of those things that I think Sega was just loved to screw with people.
I'm gonna go with they're trying to teach you that it doesn't pay to be bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely the 90s motif, I suppose.
Yeah, come on, man. Oh, come on, morality.
Take that shit elsewhere.
All right,
one more.
Fuck you guys, man.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. So they taught their little thing about morality. So let's go to Streets of Rage 2. So let's talk about Streets of Rage 2 here. Xander, did you play it? Xander's disappeared.
Oh, he said he's going to come back.
Okay. So let's go to you, Zach. Streets of Rage 2. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I loved it. I'm trying to remember things that are specifics about it. I remember I liked the first one a lot, and I liked the second one a lot. I love the idea, just like Final Fight. I love beat 'em ups. I mean, to be fair, I had the best beat 'em up ever, Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. So, but the other games definitely kicked ass too.
Okay, Streets of Rage 2 basically was known as Berserker, Deadly, the Requiem of the Deadly Battle. Basically. It was a side-scrolling beat-up video game released by Sega in '92, and it was released on the Mega Drive Genesis, and it was also part of Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, Streets of Rage series, and also the Mega Drive Collection on the 360. Now, this game, basically the plot is the same one. It was like a year's passed since the events of Streets of Rage, and to celebrate the defeat, the mysterious Mr. X, basically, this guy he was so mysterious he didn't have a name, he just had an X. He was kind of like Prince in a sense.
Or Malcolm X.
Yeah, we're not gonna. You know what? If you're gonna make this a black issue, Chris, I'm gonna have people throwing hate
Prince
mail.
is black too, man.
But yeah, he's kind of not. He's kind of prissy, so you know. But yeah, so you got Adam Hunter, Axel Stone, and Blaze Fielding met at their favorite knife spot. And spent the time reminiscing about the vigilante crusade against Mr. X, because you know when you kill someone, you always reminisce about it. And Axel and Blaze have moved out of the city after their adventures from the last year. Axel has begun working part-time as a bodyguard. So that's what Xander does. He works part-time as a bodyguard. Blaze teaches dance classes. That's what Zach does. And right. Adam has he since rejoined the police force and lives in a small house with his younger brother. So Adam is basically me. The younger brother is actually Travis, who eats me out of house and home, God damn it.
He eats you out?
Yeah, he eats me out. And the next morning, Axel received a phone call from Eddie Skate Hunter, Adam's younger brother. So Travis gave him a phone call and said he's arrived at home from school and shocked to find the house is in ruins. Dun, dun, dun. And his older brother is missing. So attached to the front door was a picture of Adam chained to a wall at the feet of Mr. X. Mostly it could have been sexual assault. I don't know. It could have been pretty much the scene from the...
You didn't mention Max at all.
Well, we're going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
And basically, they've also began looting again. Realizing that Mr. X and Syndicate's return for revenge against them, Axel and Skate waste no time in telling Blaze the unexpected situation, and she's determined to help Axel out by defeating Mr. X and rescuing Adam, accompanied by Adam's younger brother Skate, Axel's friend, so gay lover, a professional wrestler by the name of Max Thunder.
Max Thunder.
I don't know any wrestlers by the name of Max Thunder. Maybe it was like because he chews lightning and he cracks thunder. And Axel, Blaze, and the rest of them set forth on a rescue mission to go after them. And unlike the other games in the series, the game only has one ending, which is the good ending, where Mr. X is defeated and Adam is rescued, etc., etc. So, guys, Xander, what was your experience with this game? What did you think about it?
This is actually my favorite Streets of Rage out of the three, because I really like that little rollerblading kid, man. That kid was so freaking awesome, jumping on the shoulders of like the bad guys and hitting them in the head, like donkey punching them, and then then he would do little breakdancing move, you know. It was so freaking cool, and plus he was on rollerblades, which was very different than most. Side-scroller beat 'em ups. You didn't have things like that. I mean, sure, you had, Ninja Turtles, you'd be riding a skateboard or surfboard, but it just wasn't the same. So, if we had to go ahead and choose which of the three, I would definitely pick the middle one.
Well, can I ask you a little question? Would you take your nephew or niece outside to fight crime?
Probably.
So that's a yes.
I would.
That's a yes. It's like, fuck safety. I'm just going to take them outside and fight crime.
Learn about life somehow.
Yeah. Come on, I know you're in diapers still, so that's easy. If you crap yourself, I'll just throw you at the villains. It's fine. So, Sarah, what about yourself? Did you have any experience with this game?
No, I actually don't really play side-scrolling beat-em-ups. The only one that I've actually played was the Scott Pilgrim one for PS3, but it has nothing to do with this. So.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
So moving on to Travis.
Actually, Streets Rage 2, of all of them, this is my personal favorite. One thing you will see that there are some nice improvements over the first one. For one thing, the characters are a little bit bigger, so it definitely gave you a greater sense of depth and everything, and made it more. It made it a lot better, I think. I'm not picking my words very well here, but no, it's just something about it. It just draws me to it a lot more than the first one did, and definitely draws me a lot closer than what the third one ever did, because we'll get to the third one, but Streets of Rage 2, it was awesome. Best one.
It still is.
Yep, very true. And Nick, what about you?
I never even knew they made more than one Streets of Rage game. I only heard of the first.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Chris?
Well, like I said before, I'm most familiar with 3 and 1, but I'm playing Streets of Rage 2 right now, and this game is pretty fucking sweet. I mean...
It is, isn't it?
Max is huge and awesome, and he's kicking ass. And I just ran through the entire first level by myself and didn't even die. So this game is fun. I mean, I'm actually getting attacked by Jet right now, and he's trying to kill me. So I'm gonna let you guys talk about it while I play it.
They did everything that was great about the first game. They upped it in the sequel, and it was just like, you know, you have those series that has that one game that just outshines. Yeah, it just outshines, and Streets of Rage 2 is that game. I mean,
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, it's the Empire Strikes Back of Streets of Rage, definitely.
Okay, that's awesome. I agree wholeheartedly with you on this. My only issue with this game was Max Thunder.
Really?
He was slow. He was sluggish. He couldn't do shit.
No, I'm actually wrecking this game by myself with him right now.
Are you playing the remix or the
No,
original?
I'm playing the Sega Genesis Collection version.
Okay, I hated him. I thought he was a poor misconception of what a professional wrestler should be, and I was severely jealous of his humongous size.
That's fair.
So there we go on that one. But yeah, in my opinion, I liked the first one. I think Sam did up everything that made the first one great, including giving them superpowers, because he was doing that whole Venuka. So yes, that was a fun time had by all of that game. Okay, so let's move on to the third game and the last one of the series, Streets of Rage 3. So who wants to talk about Streets of Rage 3? Who wants to tell us the story?
Well,
I hated it.
Me too.
I like the versus mode.
Okay, Xander, what did you hate about the game?
Well, it felt like a watered down version of 2. The color palette was a lot more bland. The fact that they had a kangaroo in it was just really out of place. I thought the guy, the bald guy with the mustache and metal arms, thought he looked like a freaking cyborg pedophile. He just looked freaking weird.
These are all valid criticisms.
I just didn't like it. I felt like it was a step down. Like, it's funny because Streets of Rage 3 feels like more what Streets of Rage 2 would have been, you know, and Streets of Rage 2 feels like, you know, all right, they got it right now. This is going to be awesome. So it's just, I don't know. It's almost like when you have leftovers and they're not as good the second time you warm it up.
Yeah.
I could agree on that one. What about you,
That's
Zach?
a good analogy, man.
What's your experience with it, Zach?
I've never played 3, but I think it's funny that the same year when Streets of Rage 3 came out in 1994, they had a kangaroo boxer guy as a character, and then Contra Hardcore came out in 94, and they had a wolf-like kind of guy with a cannon arm as a character, and they both came out the same year. So I thought that was
Star
pretty...
Fox came out.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
And I had no affiliation with it.
Absolutely none, but...
Well, personally, I've never played 3, and that guy, I guess I can see, like from the box art, he looks like a pedophile, or at least a guy, a horn dog, who's going to try to grab a penis with his arm.
Yeah,
that's what I see.
He does look pretty lame.
Yeah, that girl looks pretty hot though.
Yeah, she's hot.
Nerd boner.
Yeah.
Boner.
She's like a bodybuilder. I see those muscles.
That's what's turning it on. It's like, Tyler, we're done. I'm going to go after some muscly chick now.
It's China.
Where's Nicole back?
Oh,
when you need her?
Burhan, remember we talked about One Night in China back around like Halloween?
Oh God.
They're gonna make. Okay, now we got to make a Streets of Rage movie with China as Blaze.
No, we should have One Night in Xandar. I think that needs to happen.
All right, you can have that one.
Yeah, it's going to be Zach Latour and Xander Scully. And Xander will be playing Princess Peach. Zach Latour will be the plumber.
Yeah.
And it'll be called Plumbers Don't Have Life Bars.
Oh no!
Oh gosh!
Did you guys ever see The Big Lebowski?
Yes.
There's that part where they're watching that porno with Tara Reid and like the guy who's like the plumber, or the cable guy. I mean, and she's like it shows him walking to fix the cable, and then the lady's like, "You can probably guess how this ends," and he's like, "Oh, does he fix the cable?" Like, because you know he's always like that guy who's like so spaced out from what everyone else is thinking.
I've always wished that he would fix the cable. I think those movies give you the worst perceptions of people coming on time to fix your plumbing and also to deliver your pizza.
True.
You know that I come in 90 minutes or less. That's what just happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to the game now before we start moving into homoerotica. After being defeated twice by the syndicate crime boss, Mr. X has started a research company, because that's what you do when you get defeated by people. You start a research company called RoboSci Corporation. I think this guy's been watching a bit too much RoboCop. Cover up all his illegal activities, and also the words best roboticist Dr. Dam. That's actually his name. D-A-H-M. Dam. Has been brought to help him create an army of realistic robots to replicate important officials in the city. This guy goes really hard, doesn't he? He spends all his money making robots to replace people in the city, not the world, in the city. Not really. I'd use them for sex. But anyway, this makes has to run the city using a remote control device. I would. I'm desperate. And his syndicate has strategically placed bombs around the city to distract the police while the city officials are dealt with. Dr. Zad discovers the research and is arrayed for known as the syndicate and must be stopped. He contacts Blaze with the details and the syndicate's plan, and Blaze quickly contacts her old comrades Axel, Adam, and the task force to bring them down. So Axel quickly joins the task force, but Adam can't make it due to his own assignment within the police force. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why do they keep doing this to Adam? Seriously, he's the best one. So he sends his younger brother, because that's what you do.
Nobody ever remembers him, dude.
You send someone's younger brother in there to actually do it instead. There's basically 3 endings, including the good ending, where the players completed it and they rescued the police chief and everyone's safe and Robot Wire before time expires. Syndicate. Oh, by the way, there's a time limit on this game as well. Yeah. And then Dr. Dam has been rehabilitated in psychiatric hospital while the characters go to separate ways and all that shit. And the neutral ending, the players complete the game on easy mode and they've defeated Mr. X's robotic clone. But after that, he says the characters must try harder. And then you've got Neutral Ending 2, where they've completed the game in normal hard. They rescue the chief of police. And the level takes up to City Hall. The chief of police's robot clone in front of the press. And then they say that they're defeated. And Zan tries to make Shiva confess. And it all fails miserably. And then you have the bad ending, where they've completed the game in normal hard mode, where the the chief of police and Robot Y are gotten after time that has expired, and then the gang is saved by Adam, only to see that the city devastated in an explosion. So let's go on to Chris, your opinion. What do you think of this game? Why do you think this game sucks so bad?
Streets of Rage 3. Well, that's the one I'm most familiar with. That's the first one I actually played as a kid because I'm young. I'm younger than all of you. Probably. I don't know. But that's the first one I actually played. I mean, I liked it. I liked doing the versus mode. That was fun. I mean, it was kind of like just a bootleg version of Street Fighter that I got to play at my cousin's house because he didn't have Street Fighter.
You're poor. Let's play Street Fighter 3.
What?
You're poor. Let's play Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, no, I mean I was older than that, but I'm playing Streets of Rage 2 right now, and I'm kind of gonna, because I never actually played Streets of Rage 2, and I'm gonna be honest, I like it better than 3. Like 3 kind of sucks now.
Yep.
I'm gonna
it's
agree.
like getting that plate of crap and then trying real food afterwards, and like that crap tastes like crap.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck was I missing?
That's exactly it. I mean, I never really gave Streets of Rage 2 a chance because I was just so enamored with 3 because it was the first one I played, and I was like, like kind of like nostalgic and all sentimental about it, But this game is fucking dope, and Streets of Rage 3 is not dope. So
I'm actually playing
you see what I mean though. You see what I mean about the color palette though. Man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a lot more vibrant. And just the levels are just more like the third. I think it was like the third level I just did. The beginning of the third level where you're walking in like the posts, the light posts are like scrolling in the front foreground. It's just like the artistry is and imagery is way better in this game than anything that's even in 3. Like they didn't even try to do anything like that in 3.
Zach, what's your comments about this? Did you have an attempt at this game?
3? No, I've never played 3.
He just played it himself instead.
Yeah.
So, Nick, what about you?
I've been deprived of video games a lot, so I didn't know about it. Please forgive me.
No, you're not forgiven. You're not forgiven at all. And you know what? You deserve this more than anyone else on this.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Honestly.
Wait, you don't play video games? Is that what he said?
Yes.
Did he say he doesn't play video games?
He said he didn't play it. He said he's been deprived of video games and sex. I agree with him. Yeah, Xander, what were you saying?
I was gonna say if we turned I Got Gameplay into a drinking game, and every time you played Betrayal they took a shot, they would be so hammered right now.
Exactly. And just for those who actually are getting hammered on this as a drinking game.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
There'd be a lot of blackouts and a lot of unprotected sex.
Yes, and a lot of people going to the hospital from alcohol poisoning.
Oh, now you got more people going to Spoonie's website to find the exact episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Spoonie, I've given you free press. Come on our show. Now, Sarah, what about you? What was your experience with this?
Please don't set Noah and Twyler on me. I haven't played it, but I haven't had a chance to play it. But I do like
Hit her with a bare hand?
Hey, no. Let me tell you first. I like the idea of multiple endings.
Oh, dude, I just picked up a fucking... Alright, sorry.
With the first one, there was the catfish argument, so I found it interesting that they actually went back and did, I guess, 4 endings, wasn't it? Because there was 2 neutral ones, 1 good one and 1 bad one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting that they did that, but...
Yeah,
I haven't had a chance to play it. I will check it out at some point.
It was one of the first games that actually gave you a good ending and a bad ending. What were you going to say? What are you going to say, Zach?
I said hit her with the betrayal.
Oh, it is betrayal.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
There you go.
Someone else is...
Now everyone is dead.
Now.
Those people who are using it to get without death.
IGG has killed people in the name of betrayal.
Has used Spoonie to kill the masses. I swear that should be a plot point. That should be a plot point for Streets of Rage 4, using Spoonie. So yeah, in terms of the Streets of Rage games, this wasn't the most liked. And Xander, as you were saying about it, it didn't really thrill you. It was like having Streets of Rage 2 light, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was just. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game at all. But it's just like going from Streets of Rage 2 and then Streets of Rage 3. It just feels kind of, just feels a little different.
Yeah.
Well, for me, like it filled the void until I actually played Streets of Rage 2. Now I feel slighted, like you're kind of saying.
You know the best. I hate to use food analogies for this because I love food, but it's kind of like going to a restaurant that just opened and the food's like really, really good, and you go there for a couple of weeks and like the restaurant gets comfortable because they're getting enough customers, so they start slacking with the food. Like your portions aren't as big, and the food's not as hot or as delicious as it used to be. That's kind of like with Streets of Rage 3. Yeah.
It's like Storm Crow's happening here. Like first time I went, it was really good, and I think they changed hands or something.
Wait, what was that?
Storm Crow's Tavern. It's a nerd pub out in Vancouver. First time was great. Second time wasn't as great, and made me sad.
See, that's one thing. Like, I think it's funny, like the way that Streets of Rage went, because it was like Streets of Rage. Like good. You guys consider 2 better than 1? As a.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Definitely.
So it's like 1 is great, 2 is better, and then 3 is kind of like shitty. But it's funny, like when you look at the like the Ninja Turtle games, like NES and Super Nintendo, like 1 was good, 2 was fucking awesome, 3 was even better, but 4 was just like the shit. Like that's when they realized they did everything right and made it the best it could possibly ever be.
Yeah, but Konami is pretty much like awesome at doing everything.
Not the Tiny Toons game. That game pisses me off.
I never played that.
Which one?
The first one for the NES.
Oh yeah, that
one
was
for the
rubbish.
Game Boy.
Oh no, that one. I like the SNES version.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Buster Bust Loose.
That's awesome.
That game's good. Yeah, that game's really good.
So let's ask you guys a question then. Have you played the remixed version?
No.
No.
Nope.
I haven't.
Sorry.
I'd be willing to.
I was.
If it's anything like Double Dragon Neon, I'm gonna say fuck that.
Well, what I was gonna say was I haven't played it, but I do want to mention one thing. There are some homebrews that are out that you can burn onto a Dreamcast disc. The homebrew is called Beat Remix, and what they do is they take sprites from different games and make a Streets of Rage game. There's actually a Castlevania Symphony of the Night Streets of Rage game.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the Beats of Rage engine. It's basically it's like Mugen in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
Cool.
They also made a Streets of Rage versus Final Fight Mugen that you can play using the Beats of Rage engine. That you use the Final Fight and Streets of Rage characters in Final Fight and also in Streets of Rage. So there you go, guys. I would, if I was you, take a look at it.
Yeah, I would definitely check that out. That's awesome.
Yeah, and also Streets of Rage Remix as well, which can be burned on a Dreamcast CD and also is available on the Xbox, the Wii system. It's for Wii. Or you can basically download it into other little platforms as well. I'm currently playing it on the PC. So I may do a little playthrough of that and show you guys exactly what the game is about to help promote the IGG episode. So that's pretty much it for the Streets of Rage, and what I'm going to do is give everyone their thoughts and give it, for the entire series, Xander, we'll start with you. What would you give it out of 10?
I really like Streets of Rage, so I would give it like a 9.5, and that's just because of Streets of Rage 3. Streets of Rage 3 was a little bit better; it would have got a perfect 10.
Beautiful, Sarah.
Having also not played them, the premise sounds pretty interesting. I think I'd probably get into it, and there's also the remix. Probably not.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
And now
Definitely.
everyone's just corpses. No one's even drinking anymore. They're just dead.
They're blacked out and dead.
You got the ambulance technicians like we're trying to revive people at the moment, while others are just on the floor trying to drink a bottle of booze. So Zach/Kyler/Kitty, what would you give it?
I'm gonna give it some things like I like more than Final Fight because the original Streets of Rage was 2-player, and that's a big thing for me because when I was a kid, simultaneous 2-player was a big thing. I needed that. I needed co-op. So I know I didn't get to play the third, but what I played I loved, and I'm still, out of the 2 that I played and the one that I saw on the Game Gear, I'm going to give it a 9. I guess it's the same, but there's some things I liked more in Final Fight, and there's some things that I liked more in Streets of Rage. Screw it. Now, Streets of Rage, I'm giving it 9.5 because the first one was 2-player.
There you go.
Awesome. Chris?
I mean, I'm gonna have to give it a 9, and I mean, my opinion has completely changed. I mean, at first, before I actually sat down and started playing Streets of Rage 2, I probably would have given it like a 7.5 or an 8. But Streets of Rage 2 is fucking kicking ass right now, and like I'm on like an elevator, like speeding downwards, not like slowly moving upwards like in the first one.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna give it a 9. Streets of Rage kicks ass.
Travis?
I'm going to give it a 9 as well. I mean, this is actually, for me, I just think this is slightly better than Final Fight, and I mean slightly. Although I will say that Streets of Rage 3, the consensus is true. I'm agreeing with the consensus that the colors are kind of washed out and all that stuff. And, dude, beating up a kangaroo may be fun, but it's a little out of place.
Cool.
But, yeah, and as a whole, yeah, it gets a 9.
Cool. And Nick?
Based off the gameplay that I've seen, some of the stuff that I've seen about Control, story-wise, I would say a 5.
Oh! Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
I would give it a 9.
Oh.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Burhead, you have been reading my mind. I was thinking it like the first time you said it, and then when he said a 9, I was thinking it again anyway. Just keep hitting him with the fucking betrayal.
One more.
Oh, God, Spoonie, you've given us a whole load of laughs this episode.
I had a screw with you for hand.
9.5 as well. I have to admit, if the third one was any good, it probably would have given it a 10 out of 10. I love this game. The remix has really refocused the game. It makes the third one actually more playable, adds additional levels. You can play all characters in the games as well, including Adam, which I love because I'm a huge Adam fan. I think Adam should be in everything because Adam is just sexy. Sarah, are you like talking dirty?
He's like Bill Pullman.
He is like Bill Pullman. Are you talking dirty to someone in the back?
No, no one's here except for me.
No. Sweet nothings, I swear.
No, no one's here except for me.
Oh, she's good to herself. She's like, Dark State Burham, why are you doing betrayal a lot? Honestly, that's just ridiculous.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
So the lawsuits are piling up.
Altogether, versus Final Fight.
I got a game over, guys.
Just like Final Fight, Streets of Rage is given a very 9.5. Looking at all the scores here, it's down to a 9. So, out of the two games, Streets of Rage wins. Just perfect.
Fatality.
So there you go, guys. And now let's go move on to the plug.
Can you enter this?
Xander, where else can we see you?
Well, you guys can check me out on YouTube. That's youtube.com/XanderScullion. Also, I host another gaming podcast called Access Gaming Podcast you can listen to on Podomatic.com or on iTunes. But you can also check out everything I do on the Retro on Limb Network. That's RetroOnLimb.com.
Okay, awesome. Zach?
Yeah, you can find me and my co-host Kyla, who she's drawing on her Wii U. She made a cat look like an anime cat or something. She's about to share it on Facebook. You can find us on youtube.com/gettingyournerdon, where we do pickup videos. I'm about to start a new segment called Getting Your Dumpster On, which will come out on Monday. We have a two Pro Noobs, which is our Let's Play segment, which comes out on Wednesday, and we also have Modest Magic, which comes out every other Monday. You can find us there. Also, you can find us on Facebook, Getting Your Nerd On, and the band I play in. You can find at killtech9.bandcamp.com. That's KILLTAC number 9.bandcamp.com. And you can also follow Kyla on Instagram at Kiki Buttface.
I have to add you now on Instagram as Kiki Buttface.
Yes.
Because that's just awesome. Kyla, you rule. And Zach, for not mentioning Nerd Genius, because you're on Nerd Genius as well. He did mention that.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
And nobody is drinking anymore. They're just like, we give up. So, Travis, what about you?
Yes, you can find me on YouTube. I got a couple of channels. Got Rose Colored Reviews and Rose Colored Let's Play. Go check those out. You can find me on Twitter. Travis Scott 79 is my handle. And on the Nintendo Network, it's the same. Add me. It's Travis Scott 79. And remember, fanboysanonymous.com. I just had an article go up this week about the Art of Castlevania Lords of Shadow art book review. It was awesome. Go read it. And you can find me here each and every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central for I Got Gameplay. And in case anybody missed it, this last Thursday was the relaunch of an old podcast they used to do called The On Radio Show. Go check that out. It's, Brian, what time is it? Are we going to have that show from now on?
8 p.m. Thursday night, I believe. But we may change the time with the Untitled Movie Show. We're going to see what happens, guys. It's Thursday, and I'll give you a concrete time by then. And also, by not mentioning that Michael Fairham was on the show either, you get a...
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Is that show going to be every Thursday now?
It's going to be every Thursday night.
No.
So make sure that you keep yourself free, Zach, so we can have you on the show. And Nick, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Nick T. Wolf. I just basically do reviews of different games, movies, and talking about my life.
Awesome. And you never mentioned about him loving Michael Burham's channel. So
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
And Chris, what about you?
Do it perfect.
I occasionally do these podcasts on I Got Gameplay because mostly I'm a musician. You can find my music on Spotify under several bands.
Yeah, he doesn't do the podcast much enough. So
Betrayal!
Again, what?
Betrayal!
Oh my God!
Betrayed me!
Yeah,
what?
I said you don't do it enough. So
I know I don't do it enough, and I really like doing these podcasts with you guys. You guys are fucking cool, man.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, man, I'm a musician, so come to San Francisco and listen to me play music. And also, you can find occasionally I'll pop up with Fanboys Anonymous, and I am getting stoned.
And he's also for himself street corners now and then. He says to me that he'll suck dick for crack. So if you wanna find him, he's probably on the corner of 2nd or 3rd Street, I think. Anyway,
he's just saying random streets.
I just there's actually people who listen to this podcast who are going to go to 2nd Street and go, yeah, are you Chris Locks? Are you Chris Locks? Are you Chris Locks? Damn it, when is Chris Locks going to suck my dick?
I'm sure somebody's just going to say yes, because, oh, you want to be me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Chris Locks. You're a hairy black guy. That's not Chris Locks. I swear.
I actually am not very hairy.
See, he's not very hairy. So now you know, guys. He kind of looks like Donald Glover, but sort of a handsome Donald Glover, because Donald Glover's kind of a little ugly fuck. But that's fine.
I'm a handsome Donald Glover, is that what you said? That's cool, yeah. I'll take that.
And Sarah, where can we find you? You've got a expo that you're doing as well, aren't you?
Yes. The Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo down in New Westminster, April 5th, 9 till 5.
And did you cut us off in that conversation?
I don't know what just happened.
I don't either. You can find her at that expo, and she hopefully will be back, leaving us a few more details. Oh, she's disconnected.
Sorry, I'm back.
Back. Go on, keep on.
Worst timing ever, sorry. Also, I'm going to try and be on IGG every Saturday, as long as I don't have other live things happening. Yeah, so April 5th and IGG. Thank you for inviting me, Bahan.
Oh, no worries. Even though I kept saying this.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
You also find I Got Gameplay, fanboysanonymous.com, retroisland.com, and also www.nerdgenius.com, GENIOUS. You can catch me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheNerdGenius. I know I haven't been updating it as much. Sorry. You can also find me as well. Exactly. You can also find me on dailymotion.com/NerdGenius. And loads of other shows, including the Untitled Movie Show, the Unradio Show with Travis Goss every Thursday. Time has not been confirmed as of yet, but it'll be posted on the Retro Island page. So facebook.com, I Got Gameplay, facebook.com, the Retro Admin Network, and also Facebook.com Xander Swallows. No, that's not real, I swear.
Oh, gosh.
Jeez, that escalated quickly.
So, yeah, we've got loads and loads of different places that you'll find as well. I do frequent the Excess Gaming Podcast, Happy Console Gamer Forum, and loads of other places. You can find me on the Wii U under Michael Burhan. Ella's not going to add me because she hates me. We can also find me on PlayStation Network, PSN, under Speederman 213, or Xbox 360 under Speeder Space Man as an MANN, because you can't have the N once, you've got to have the N twice. And also, you can find me on the Nintendo 3DS and loads of other places as well. Anything gaming. I'm also an actor. I do films and stuff. So check out all my stuff, including No Genius, Facebook.com, Enigma Entertainment, Facebook.com, Michael Gameplay, and Facebook.com, everything else. And now, for Xander Scullion, Sarah Mortimer, Kyla DiPietro, and Cass and Latour, and Chris Locke, and Travis Goss, and Nick Enderley, and for Matt, Dan, and what was the other guy's name? What was the other guy's name? I've forgotten. Okay, so that was that
Dan,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, there was Matt, Dan, and there was the third one. Chris, what's your friend's name?
Josh.
Josh. There you go, Josh. Sorry, Josh, this one's for you.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
That's one for you there. And for everybody on here, just remember that we have gameplay. Have you? And I'm... where is it? There you go.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Wait, so how come you never do like a